Chapter 387. But, Master, what about the junior brothers and sisters? They. Lin Wanyu agreed with her master's words. But if she didn't tell them all, then she was a little. Yes, you can't tell them either. After all, for this step, I was hit by someone. I can't let that hit me for nothing. Remember what I said. After hearing her master's voice transmission, Lin Wanyu squatted beside Lin Rei again and quieted down. Everyone was puzzled because many people were acting strangely today. They knew Lin Rei's temper, but now it had changed. Lin Wanyu's temper was even more fiery than Lin Rei's, but now they really didn't understand what was going on that made them act like this. Disciples of the Xuanzong Sect, listen up. Now the Xuanzong Sect is going to change. Now the Xuanzong Sect is the territory of the Kunlun Immortal Clan. I'll give you two choices. Brother 1, join the Kunlun Immortal Clan, and your lives will be saved. At this point, the people of Kunlun said with a smile. But in the next moment, their expressions changed and a murderous aura burst out and rushed to the sky. Second, those who resist will be killed without mercy. You can choose between the two choices. But you have to think carefully. It's not easy to cultivate until now. If you give up your lives, it'll be a pity. As soon as he said this, everyone was stunned. However, at this moment, when no one was paying attention, Linley's lips curved upwards, revealing a hint of a smile. Kid, you didn't let me down. Add more fuel to the fire. This is what I want to see. Hurry up, hurry up. At this moment, lying in Lin Wanyu's arms, he couldn't wait. He really wanted the Kunlun Immortal Clan to take away all the traitors. That way, he wouldn't have to pretend anymore. But things often went against his wishes. It didn't go as smoothly as he thought. Kunlun brat, you can take my Xuanzong Sect as you please. Do you really think my Xuanzong Sect is made of mud? This sentence broke the current situation. Immediately, everyone was stunned. Even Lin Rei wanted to cry but had no tears. He wanted to rush up and beat him up. F***CKU, why are you poking your nose into other people's business? I really don't know if you're bored or doing this on purpose. However, even though he said that, he still felt that this voice sounded familiar. It was as if he had heard it somewhere before, but he just couldn't remember where. Moreover, at this moment, Lin Wanyu and the others had surrounded him. He couldn't see outside clearly. At this moment, as soon as he finished speaking, a woman in red clothes with a fairy-like appearance appeared. Her skin was so tender that it felt like water could be squeezed out of it. Her eyes were unfocused, causing people to have wild fantasies at first glance. If Lin Rei saw this face, he would definitely recognize it. Wasn't this Red Lotus who had separated from him on planet Aqua Blue? Wasn't this Red Lotus who had been seriously injured in order to save him? Wasn't this the first warlord to be summoned from the warlord system back then? However, at this moment, Red Lotus had a strong inner breath. She was dressed in red and her face was as cold as ice. People would only want to look at her once and not a second time. For the record, it wasn't that Red Lotus didn't look good, but because of her cold temperament and face, people didn't dare to look directly at her. Who are you? This is a matter between my Kunlun and the Xuanzong Sect. Don't tell me you want to get involved. At this moment, the people of Kunlun were furious. It could have ended immediately, but now they had to stop for a while. With me here today, you can't touch the Xuanzong Sect unless you kill me. Boom. Red Lotus, who had just finished speaking, released a huge amount of energy from her body. Instantly, some of the people around who had their cultivation shrunk were sent flying. Those who remained were the top of the younger generation in the celestial world. F***CK, this is not a good person. To be able to send them flying, this person's cultivation must be at least at the peak of the celestial master realm. At this moment, the Kunlun disciple wanted to retreat. However, for the sake of his and his sect's reputation, he still endured it. He didn't want to expose his fear and horror in advance. Not only him, but other people also wanted to do the same. However, there were always a few people who didn't. They relied on their own abilities and came here to get the Xuanzong sect. Humph, my fellow cultivator, this is a matter of my Kunlun immortal sect. Are you sure? I'm sure. No matter who it is, even if a celestial master comes here personally, it won't work. At this moment, the two of them were in a deadlock. Lin Rei, who was next to them, heard this. For a moment, tears were streaming down his face. He didn't know what to say. Master, do you know this person? Why would he help such a powerful sect in our place? Seeing this, Lin Wanyu didn't know what to say. Then, she asked Lin Rei via voice transmission, hoping to get some clues from him. However, she was completely disappointed by Lin Rei's answer. Humph, you're asking me. How would I know? My original plan is ruined now. Humph, don't let me know who that person is. If I do, I'll definitely beat her ass until it blossoms. Boss. Boss Red Lotus? These sudden words caused Linley to freeze in place. Red Lotus. This was a name that Linley had always remembered in his heart. Back then, he had promised her that he would protect her for the rest of their lives, never to part from her. But because of some things, he hadn't been able to keep his promise. However, at this moment, Dian Wei, who was standing next to him, stared at the direction where the voice came from. For a moment, Lin Rei was dumbfounded. Lin Rei believed that Dian Wei wouldn't mistake Red Lotus. Besides, Dian Wei's eyes were wet at this moment. Lin Rei's heart skipped a beat. He had a bad feeling. Come on, help me up. Come on. Right now, Linley didn't speak mentally. He spoke directly to the nearby Lin Wanyu. When Lin Wanyu heard this, she immediately helped Linley up. In an instant, Linley's entire body was rooted to the ground. He didn't move an inch. Disbelief filled his eyes. How could it be? What's going on? Red Lotus, isn't he in the mortal world? Could it be? Thinking of something, he immediately extended his divine senses and observed Red Lotus's current cultivation. Damn. She's at the peak of the Duke Immortal realm. Is this a joke? How could she cultivate so fast? Linley was puzzled by this. Logically speaking, the key to their relationship should have been removed. Thus, the only possibility was that Red Lotus had relied on her own efforts to cultivate step by step to reach her current level. At the same time, Lin Rei's gaze attracted the attention of Red Lotus, who was fighting an enemy. She turned her head and looked at him. She looked so tender and heartbroken that it made people feel numb all over, especially the people from Kunlun. When they saw that the person they were fighting with was flirting with someone else, they felt that Red Lotus was looking down on them. This was a humiliation to him. With a thud, Lin Rei gave up fighting with the man from Kunlun. He came to Lin Rei decisively and knelt down, kowtowing to him. Master, I'm Red Lotus. What? What? How could it be? Instantly, everyone was stunned. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Some people even thought that they had heard wrong and lost their hearing. Master, I remember everything that happened in the past. It's all this subordinate's fault. Back then, this subordinate shouldn't have opposed Master and said that I deserved to die. Please punish me, Master. The moment this was said, everyone no longer felt that there was something wrong with their ears. It was true. However, they were very confused. How could such a cowardly sect leader have such a powerful subordinate? At this moment, they re-evaluated Lin Rei. As the leader of the Xuanzong sect, Lin Rei couldn't be so weak. Alas. Get up and answer me. Looking at Red Lotus kneeling on the ground, Lin Rei had mixed feelings. He didn't know what to feel. Yes, Master. Hearing the order, Red Lotus stood up and stood opposite Lin Rei respectfully. It wasn't good for her to do anything. Okay, Don't call me master in the future. Just call me young master. Don't say anything else. Hearing this, tears welled up in Red Lotus' eyes. However, she didn't want to embarrass Lin Ray, so she held back her tears and held them back. In a while, pretend to be weak and injured. My original plan has been ruined by you. I hope I can make up for it. Do you understand? As someone who had been by Linley's side for a long time, how could she not know what Linley was thinking? After hearing this, she immediately understood. At the same time, she was very happy. She was happy that Lin Ray had forgiven her. Yes, young master. I understand. Turning around, Red Lotus returned to the battlefield. Looking at the people from the Kunlun Immortal Sect, she said with disdain. Come on, let me see what qualifications you have to snatch the sect founded by my young master. As soon as she finished speaking, Red Lotus slapped out and instantly appeared in front of the people from Kunlun. Humph, destroy. PFFF. You were so arrogant just now, but now you're broken. Red Lotus' slap caused him to vomit blood. With a PFFF sound, the crowd didn't understand why Red Lotus was also vomiting blood. Her aura was weak and her face turned pale instantly. It was as if that slap had used up all her strength. What? What's going on? What's going on now? Such a dramatic scene made the crowd suspicious. They all felt that this was a scam. However, they didn't know what this scam was trying to scam. However, no matter how they thought about it, they couldn't figure out what Lin Ray could scam them about. It was also because of this that they felt very puzzled. They couldn't figure out all the doubts in their eyes. Humph, go. Go, kill this woman. The people from Kunlun who were sent flying quickly took care of their own sect's disciples and ordered them to go forward and destroy Red Lotus. Humph, I know. How can you covet the disciples of the Xuanzong sect? Do you really think that your Kunlun Immortal Sect is invincible? Seeing that the people from Kunlun Immortal Sect were about to attack Red Lotus, the tens of thousands of Xuanzong sect disciples were unwilling. Chapter 388. Among the tens of thousands of disciples, those who had come from the lower world had all gone up the mountain. A small number of people had gone forward. As for the tens of thousands of disciples who had not gone forward, they were all hesitating. They were hesitating about whether it was worth it for them to go through all these years. If they lost, their lives would be in danger. They were hesitating. Regarding this, Linley revealed a smile. At such a critical moment, they were still hesitating. Linley felt pain in his heart, but at the same time, he felt gratified to have disciples who didn't fear any expert. Although he had not achieved the result he wanted, it was already good enough. Immediately, Lin Ray did not have to pretend anymore. But, he could. Jian Wudi had not made any mistakes. In the future, he would have to greet them with a smile. Ha ha ha. A hearty laugh came from Lin Ray's mouth. Suddenly, everyone's eyes were fixed on him. At this moment, Lin Ray's voice was like a bell. His pale face had disappeared. He did not look like he had been seriously injured. The contrast was too great. Huh, I knew it. There was a trap, a big one. Old fox, you dare to trick us. At this moment, not only the people who had come to watch the ceremony, but also Lin Ray's own people were stunned. They did not know what was going on, but they knew that Lin Ray was full of energy and his aura was extremely strong. He had not been injured at all. Ha ha ha, everyone, I'm sorry. I've made a fool of myself. Looking at the Xuanzong sect disciples standing motionless in the distance, Lin Ray's eyes were full of disappointment. Humph, I wanted to give you a chance, but you did not repent. You did not step forward bravely at such a critical moment for the sect. It seems that you are the best in the sect. Destroy them. Boom. Lin Ray's words frightened everyone. What do you mean by exterminate them? There are more than 10,000 people in Ivory City. Do you think you can exterminate them just like that? Lin Ray, who said this, also felt very comfortable. After all, they had been together for such a long time. However, their decision made Lin Rei feel even worse and even more unforgivable. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. A huge force was approaching. The disciples of the top sects were very clear about this kind of pressure. Wasn't this the pressure of an immortal emperor? However, they still felt 9 such oppressive auras. This was a huge blow to them. The great Tao made their brain capacity a little insufficient. Ah! Screams came from the side. Suddenly, more than 10,000 Xuanzong sect disciples, who had been separated, fell from the sky one by one. It was a ghastly sight. In particular, the rain of blood was even more unbelievable. Moreover, they had never seen such a scene before. There were more than 10,000 people here. Some of them had never killed so many people in their lives. At this moment, the space was like an azure battlefield. It was not easy to get close. Some people even wanted to leave immediately. Of course, the cultivator who had injured Lin Rei was the most shocked. At this moment, his soul had left the 9 heavens. When he thought of his previous actions, he couldn't help but want to slap himself a few times. However, it was too late for regrets now. Hee, kid, you didn't go easy on him. Just as Kuei Yang was thinking about the battle with Lin Rei, a familiar voice sounded in his ear. Just as he was about to turn around, he felt his neck move. Then, he fell from the sky, unconscious. At this moment, Lin Rei disappeared from the spot with a teleport and returned to where he was supposed to be. In just an instant, the cultivator at the early immortal monarch realm was killed. Moreover, no one was alerted. He was killed silently. Everyone from the Kunlun immortal sect who came here felt even more fear. They were very clear on this point in their hearts. However, even if they wanted to go back on their words, Lin Li has already said that it was impossible. Lin Rei remembered all of this in his heart. Lin Rei would make them pay for their actions one by one. At this moment, Jian Wudi and Zhu Tiantong were dumbfounded when they saw the 9 immortal emperors. The thing that they were worried about had turned out to be this. At the same time, they were very regretful. At the same time, they were very glad that they didn't do anything stupid. However, what they didn't know was that even though they weren't blacklisted by Lin Rei, they had completely lost the trust of Lin Rei. Therefore, they were no different from the people of the Kunlun immortal sect. Even if their sons were in the upper echelons of the Xuanzong sect, Lin Rei would still kill them as long as they did something that harmed the Xuanzong sect. At this moment, the screams at the side were gradually decreasing. Even though they were immortal emperors, they still had some reservations when they killed tens of thousands of people. After all, their hearts were made of flesh. It was impossible for them to have a heart of stone. Blurg. 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 This scene made the people who came to watch the ceremony bend over and vomit. Their faces were as pale as paper. Even though they often killed people, who could bear to see so many people die in front of them? Ah. Lin. Sect leader Lin, you're not the leader of a sect. You're so decisive in killing. What's more, I didn't expect you to set up a trap to clean up the traitors in the sect and those who aren't determined enough. You're indeed the leader of a sect. I'm really responsible for this. However, don't you think that these tens of thousands of lives are a little cruel and deviant? At this moment, a young man with a jade-like face and sword-like eyebrows came to Lin Rei's side and spoke to him. Lin Rei knew that these people wanted to persuade him not to kill more people. However, they knew many secrets of the Xuanzong sect. In order to prevent more people from the Xuanzong sect from being in danger and to ensure their safety after he left, Lin Rei could only do this. Alright, even though I don't know who you are, this is a family matter of the Xuanzong sect. Please don't interfere. If I hear you say another word about them, you won't be able to leave this place today. At this point, Lin Li had made his intentions clear. He had to kill these people. If they tried to stop him, they would have to pay with their lives. Humph, this kid's methods aren't righteous. He's vicious and ruthless. His temperament is even more brutal. This kind of person can't be righteous. He's a devil, a devil. Just as the two of them were confronting each other, a deranged voice could be heard. Below them, a cultivator who had been scared out of his wits was roaring furiously. It wasn't just them. Even the higher-ups of the Xuanzong sect felt that Lin Rei's actions were a little cruel. However, they believed that Lin Rei had his own reasons for doing so. Lin Rei had his own reasons for doing so. They trusted Lin Rei, 100%. They were even more certain of Lin Rei's temperament. Therefore, they didn't stop him from continuing. Ah. There were still screams, but they were so faint that they couldn't be heard. At this moment, most of the traitors of the Xuanzong sect had been killed by the immortal emperor. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei retracted his gaze. He was cautious and indifferent. There wasn't a trace of sympathy, pity, or even guilt. People of the demonic Tao should be killed by righteous people. If this evil thief lives for one more day, who knows how many more people in this world will die for him. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't say anything. Instead, he laughed when he saw them shouting at him. Ha ha ha, a bunch of fools. You don't see the current situation clearly. You have to remember that you are now in the territory of Lin Rei, the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect. If you can't understand this, I really don't know how your master taught you. I think it's better if you all turn to my sect and let me teach you. Wouldn't that be better? You. This sentence didn't sound like anything on the surface, but it was obvious that he was insulting their sect and insulting them. They glared at Lin Rei fiercely. There was not a moment and they didn't want to immediately tear Lin Rei to pieces. However, they didn't have the ability to do so. They didn't have the ability or the strength to do so under the protection of 9 immortal emperors. Finally, when Lin Rei and the others were talking, the 9 immortal emperors returned to Lin Rei's side. They knelt on the ground and reporting to sect leader, "We were fortunate enough to not disappoint you." When the crowd heard this, they looked at the place where the massacre took place. At this moment, there were no corpses, no blood mist, and nothing else besides the smell of blood that couldn't be dispersed. Sigh. Over 10,000 people were killed just like that. Sect leader Lin is really not simple. It seems that there will be one more place to go in the future. At this moment, although the people who came to watch the ceremony were very angry, they didn't dare to say anything. After all, this was the other party's territory. If it was their own territory, there was no need to say anything. They would directly start a war. Sect leader Lin, look, we have watched the ceremony. Can you let us leave? There are still many things waiting for us to do in the sect. Yes, sect leader Lin. Yes, sect leader Lin has no use here. Why don't you let us leave? Slowly, one by one, they began to resign to Lin Rei. Lin Rei could see that they were afraid. When they looked at him with fear in their eyes, he knew that this move was very effective. However, it was a pity for those traitors. Lin Rei didn't regret. He didn't regret doing all this. This was because quality was more important than quantity. This was what Lin Rei wanted. Since everyone has this intention, then I don't need to force anything. However, the Karakoram Immortal Clan and the sects that provoked the Xuanzong sect before have to stay. The rest of the people who have nothing to do with it can leave. I won't interfere. What do you think? Chapter 389. What? No way, absolutely not, that's right. How can you do this? At this moment, the people who heard Lin Rei's words instantly became unwilling. Why? Thank you, sect leader Lin. Since sect leader Lin has said so, we'll take our leave first. Among them, no one had insulted Linley, the profound sect, or anyone else. In fact, they hadn't even spoken a single word. When they all stepped forward, it was clear that they were all from top-tier sects, empires, and great clans. Simply put, the others were unwilling. They knew very well in their hearts that Linley's previous methods were clear to them. Therefore, they were terrified. They were afraid. They couldn't stay, because as long as they stayed, they wouldn't be able to escape death. At the same time, they were very regretful. They regretted their previous insults. It was too late now. Everything was too late. Good. You are all people from the top sects, empires, or families. Sure enough, you are all very powerful. Since you didn't insult me, I won't dare to say anything more. As he spoke, he took out a token and threw it to an immortal emperor next to him. He said, "Go open the door for them and let them out. Remember, if anything happens on the way, don't hold back. Kill them directly. Understand?" Lin Ray was still worried about the disciples of the top sections. After all, people's hearts could never be seen through. Who knew if they had other ideas? "Yes, I'll do it right away." The immortal emperor who received the order took the token and then led the people who could leave towards the entrance. "No, we have to leave too." "Yes, we have to leave too." Looking at the people who could leave, the people who had already broken down in their hearts couldn't bear it anymore. They directly led the people and rushed out. However, they could succeed. Obviously, they couldn't. The moment they rushed out, they were directly surrounded by the remaining 8 immortal emperors. Do you really think my Xuanzong sect is a pushover? You think you can come and insult us as you please? What do you think my place is? Angry. Lin Ray was really angry. Previously, when they insulted and wanted to carve up the Xuanzong sect, Lin Ray was already angry. However, he didn't clean up the sect at that time, so he restrained himself. However, now that everything was over, Lin Ray didn't need to endure anymore. His bestial nature was completely unrestrained. "I won't kill you. The fact that you were able to come here means that most of you are the treasures of your sections. Therefore, write a letter to your respective sects and ask them to bring the corresponding items, such as heavenly materials and earthly treasures, immortal artifacts, medicinal pills, some of your precious cultivation methods and dharma spells, or some other crystals that can be used to refine immortal artifacts. In any case, I won't refuse anything that can redeem your lives. However, you have to remember that I will set the price for your lives. If the things that you send over don't satisfy me, you know the consequences." The moment Lin Ray finished speaking, everyone quieted down. They were no longer as manic as before, nor did they have the urge to rush out with all their might. At this moment, they began to consider Lin Ray's request. However, they felt helpless about Lin Ray's request. At the same time, they had a new view of Lin Ray in their hearts. In the beginning, he was a weakling who pretended to be a pig to eat a tiger. Later, he became a demon who killed without batting an eyelid. Now, he had become a person who only cared about profits. They were very confused about Lin Ray's various changes. Which one was Lin Ray's most genuine character? How about it? Do you agree? If you agree, I believe that you all have something to send messages to your sections. However, you have to be quick. I'm not sure about my temper. If I go back on my words, TSK, then your lives will be. I've thought it through. I'm willing to use my sect's black water in exchange for my life. Hiss. Everyone was stunned. Black water was a very precious thing. It was very useful in refining fairy weapons. Moreover, every drop of it was very precious. As a heaven-grade equipment refiner, Lin Ray certainly knew how precious black water was. Therefore, Lin Ray was very satisfied with this person's answer. Good. Hurry up and send the message. I hope they'll hurry up. I'm also willing. I'll use my sect's heaven crystal in exchange for my life. Hiss. This was a rare treasure. This was an excellent item that was comparable to an immortal artifact. Linley wouldn't refuse a treasure like this. Good. Is there anyone else? My time is very precious. If there's no one else, then No. No, I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm also willing. Me too, me too. In an instant, one after another, 2, 3, 4 people reported their treasures in exchange for their lives. There were treasures for refining weapons, cultivation methods, fairy weapons, and alchemy. There were all kinds of treasures. How could Lin Ray not have time for this? There were not many people in the sect. Now, many of them had died. Therefore, he had to get something that could improve the sect's collective strength as soon as possible. Only in this way could he protect the sect and the people. Good. Dark Group, stay here and watch them. I'll leave 2 immortal emperors here. If they do anything untoward, don't ask for my permission. Just kill them without mercy. Lin Ray could not stay here. Then, he passed the power of life and death to the Black Shadow. After leaving 2 immortal emperors here, Lin Ray left with the crowd. Thank you for your trust, sect leader. I'll definitely complete the task given by you. Farewell, sect leader. After the sect leader and the others left, the Black Shadow and his men surrounded them. The 2 immortal emperors sat down cross-legged and started to cultivate subconsciously. In this way, they could clearly sense the things in the outside world. At the same time, it would not be easy for them to go mad. At this moment, in the main hall, Lin Ray sat on the main seat and looked at the crowd. Lin Ray said indifferently, "Everyone, you know the situation of the sect. I'm not familiar with how outstanding they are. But at the very least, I don't want to see what happened today a second time." Tens of thousands of people hesitated when the sect was in danger. Some of them did not even intend to take action. The sect can't keep such people. At this point, there was silence. No one refuted because Lin Ray was right. They had nothing to say. Alas, that's enough. You guys are always like this. Now that so many people have died, you guys should take a look and see whose department is short of people. When I go out, I'll bring back some disciples with good spiritual roots. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the crowd was stunned. What did he mean? Was he going out again? Chapter 390. Everyone wondered why Lin Ray was doing this, but they didn't dare to ask. They could only speculate in their hearts. Master, you're not going out again, are you? As soon as these words were spoken, many people turned to look at Lin Wanyu. They were cautious and full of admiration. Lin Wanyu was stunned by their strange expressions. She didn't know why they were doing this. That's right. I'm going out this time to fulfill my wish for the Cullen clan and help them return to the elven race. Thud. As soon as Linley finished speaking, Cullen, who had been waiting below, knelt down on the ground, a look of gratitude on his face as he spoke to Linley. Thank you, Master. Thank you. These 4 words were enough to summarize 1,000 words. There was no need for the master and disciple to say anything else. Get up. This is what I promised. Curran rose to his feet, respectfully standing to one side. His eyes were filled with gratitude, and for a moment, Linley didn't know what to say. But Sect Master, the sect has just officially entered the sect and you're not here. What should we do? The higher-ups couldn't bear it any longer and hurriedly spoke up to stop him. Regarding this, Linley understood their intentions. However, the sect belonged to everyone, and he couldn't possibly watch over it forever. Thus, no matter what they said, Linley was definitely going to make this trip. All right. You don't have to say any more. Now that the sect is showing off its abilities, the surrounding sects are all on guard against us. They might even do something even worse. From now on, all disciples of the sect must not mention the name of the sect. Otherwise, we'll kill them without mercy. Yes, we'll follow Sect Master's orders. They agreed with this order. After all, they had just offended most of the sects in the immortal realm. So they agreed with Lin Ray's warning. All right, you can all leave. Honglian stays. hurry and find out how many people you're missing. After we go out, I'll bring some back for you. Yes, we'll follow Sect Master's orders. We'll take our leave now. As he spoke, everyone, aside from Red Lotus, whom Linley had named, walked out, closing the door to the main hall behind them. Bam! The door was shut tight. At this moment, only the two of them were left in the main hall. Silence. There was only silence in the main hall. It was as though no one wanted to break the silence. After a long time, Lin Ray couldn't help but speak first. Why are you in the immortal realm? And why are you with that group of people? Honglian knelt on the ground and answered Lin Ray's question with a face full of regret. Back then, I was at the peak of the immortal realm. Well, when I left, I was already at the peak of the Mahayana realm. But soon, I broke through to the earthly immortal realm and ascended to the immortal realm. However, when I arrived at the immortal realm, I had nowhere to go, so I could only find a place to practice. I joined a local sect. Maybe because I was reborn, my practice speed was very fast. Just like that, 100 years later, I became what I am now. At that time, I heard that there was a sect called the Xian Sect. At that time, I concluded that young master had also come to the immortal realm. Then, I heard the news and I was reborn. After that, Lin Ray didn't know what to say, so he didn't say anything. Lin Ray had already said that they didn't owe each other anything. Okay, since you have a place to stay in the immortal realm, then leave. Previously, when we were in Tianxian, we already said that we don't owe each other anything. So, from now on, let's treat it as if we don't know each other. After saying that, Lin Ray seemed to have used up all his strength. His body didn't have any strength to sit on the throne. Although his eyes were firm, it was obvious that his eyes were red and tears were welling up in his eyes. Young master, Honglian wanted to make a final struggle after hearing Lin Ray's words. However, she knew that once Lin Ray made a decision, there was no changing it. She knelt on the ground for a long time. Finally, her eyes were lifeless. She stood up weakly and walked out. Looking at Red Lotus back, Linley's heart was filled with pain. Towards this, Linley didn't say anything. After watching Honglian disappear, Lin Ray stood up and returned to his room at the back of the main hall. He lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Bastards, Xuanzong Sect, you're really ruthless. You actually made me use my sect's most precious treasure to exchange for my son's life. At this time, not far from Tianxiong, in a palace on a high mountain, a man was furious after seeing his son's call for help. He was trembling all over, but there was nothing he could do. In the end, he could only be angry. Just you wait. My things aren't that easy to take. A ruthless light flashed in his eyes. His face was ferocious, terrifying and chilling. This scene didn't just happen here. It happened everywhere in the immortal realm. After receiving the call for help, they all had the same reaction. However, in the end, they all brought their sect's treasures to the Xuanzong Sect in exchange for their son or disciple. More than a month had passed since the Xuanzong Sect celebration. During this time, Tianxiong didn't return to its usual calm. Instead, it became livelier than before. For more than a month, people came to the Xuanzong Sect one after another. Before entering, there was only one person. After coming out, there would be 2 or more people. Moreover, everyone's face was full of anger. They looked as if they couldn't wait to destroy the Xuanzong Sect. As the saying goes, one family is happy while the other is sad. At this moment, in the main hall of the Xuanzong Sect, Lin Ray was sitting on the main seat with a smile on his face. He seemed to be very happy. Not bad. I didn't expect that this time. Not only did we make a show of strength, but we also made a small gain. Hearing this, Lin Wanyu and the others, who were sitting on the lower seats, twitched their mouths and their eyelids twitched. This is not a small gain. This is a big gain, okay? This was what everyone thought. However, could they say this out loud? Of course not. Well, they have all taken their people. Then I have nothing else to do. This time, I will leave Tianqiong's sect and go to various places in the immortal realm to find the fairy tribe. The affairs of the sect will be left to Jean Ling. You have to help her. At this moment, Lin Rui said what was on his mind. For a moment, everyone was stunned. However, Lin Rui's decision was right. Yes, we will follow the orders of the sect leader. Oh, by the way, this time, I will take 2 celestial emperors with me. As for the others, let them guard the sect. They are not allowed to appear unless there is a crisis. Seeing that no one was willing to reply, Lin Li didn't say anything else. Since the matter had already been resolved, and he had already given his orders, Lin Li chose 2 immortal emperors, then swaggered off. Only the higher-ups of the Xuanzong sect in the main hall were still in a daze. Chapter 391. Lin Rui's departure did not affect the image of the Xuanzong sect much. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi were busy with their own duties, while the others were busy with their own affairs. As for Jian Wudi and Zhu Tiantong, after knowing that Lin Rui had left, they stayed for a few days and then left separately. However, Jian Lian insisted on staying, so Jian Feng had no choice but to report it to Jean Ling. Jean Ling certainly agreed to such a thing. Therefore, Jian Lian lived in Lin Rui's space legitimately. Jing Xiao and Wan Yunduo did not. They stayed in Tianqiong Xuanzong sect. It seemed that they had no intention of leaving. Regarding this, no one could do anything about it. After all, they could not drive them away. Therefore, in the end, Jing Xiao and Wan Yunduo stayed in Xuanzong sect. As for Jean Ling, after knowing that her husband had left alone, she was angry for a long time. However, although she was angry, she did not neglect the task given to her by Lin Rui. Everything was back to normal. All the disciples had learned their lesson from this incident. All the disciples had to go to the mission hall to accept tasks every day and then receive cultivation resources for a period of time. Everyone was the same. Whether they were personal disciples or others, the treatment was the same. There was no special treatment. If they did not work, they would not get anything. This was the rule set by Lin Rui. Therefore, all of them had to abide by it. In the immortal realm, the news of the Xuanzong sect spread for a while. Then, it faded out of people's sight. However, in the eyes of all the sects in the immortal realm, the Xuanzong sect was a place that they could not go to. Because they had seen the Xuanzong sect killing people and the strength of the Xuanzong sect with their own eyes. However, the higher-ups of all the sects were very attentive at this time. At the same time, they were also very afraid. At the edge of the central region. At this time, Lin Rui, who had left the sect, had arrived at the central region. I didn't expect the immortal spiritual qi to be so dense when we just entered the central region. However, it's a good thing that our sect is in the sky dome. Otherwise, I would really want to move our sect here. At this moment, the 2 immortal emperors who followed Lin Rui out nodded after hearing Lin Rui's words and didn't do anything else. Regarding this, Lin Rui felt very helpless. At the same time, there was nothing he could do. Who asked him to make the wrong choice? He had chosen 2 taciturn people. After a month, Lin Rui kept on inquiring about where the elves lived. Finally, at a tavern called Heavenly Origin, he found out that the elves lived in the westernmost part of the central region, the Elven Forest. The Fairy Forest was a forbidden area in the west of the central region. Apart from those who knew the fairy clan and their own clansmen, anyone who entered would die. No one was an exception. The entire celestial realm was helpless about this. At the beginning, there were some restaurants and places to stay. However, later on, not to mention restaurants, there was nothing left. It was a miserable life. Finally, after a month, Lin Rui set foot in the central region. Let's go and see if there's a city or something in front. I haven't eaten meat and drank wine for a long time. My mouth is about to explode. At this moment, Lin Rei looked at the lush forest around him. For a moment, he pulled himself together and walked forward quickly for the sake of drinking wine and eating meat. At the same time, he kept complaining about the boredom of the journey. Behind him, the two immortal emperors who followed him felt very helpless when they heard the words of their own sect. Whoosh! 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 3 sounds broke through the air. Lin Rei and the 2 immortal emperors instantly disappeared on the spot. There was no need to doubt Lin Rei's speed. After flying for a while, a medium-sized city appeared in front of Lin Rei's eyes. For a moment, his face lit up with joy. Ha ha ha, I knew it. No matter what, the central region was still a vast land with abundant resources. How could there be no cities? In an instant, after seeing the city, Lin Rei's wine worm in his stomach could no longer hold back. Let's go, let's enter the city. After deciding to enter the city, he found a deserted place and landed on the ground. Then, he brought his followers to the city gate tower. When he looked up at the signboard above his head, the 3 words Dawn Moon City entered his eyes. Dawn Moon City, this name is simply amazing. Then, he led them into the city. Along the way, there were no obstructions. Regarding this, Lin Rei was very gratified. At least, it was not like the previous few cities. They had to wait for him to show his strength before they were willing to let him pass. Lin Rei thought that there were not many people in this borderland. However, Lin Rei was wrong. The moment he entered the city, Lin Rei was stunned. There were not many people in this place. In fact, there were many people. There were so many that Lin Li almost couldn't believe his eyes. However, although there were people, everyone's faces were filled with pain and helplessness. There were even women who were sitting on the roadside, tears streaming down their faces. Lin Rei was even more confused by this scene. Every place in the immortal realm had its own customs. Therefore, Lin Rei divided this scene into different customs and did not pay much attention to it. Instead, he walked forward and looked for a restaurant. This was the only reason he came here. Whoosh! 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 This is... Suddenly, a gust of cold wind blew. Lin Rei felt a trace of strangeness. At the same time, it made Lin Rei feel a strong interest in this place. It seems that you're not bad. You can actually feel what that thing is. You're really worthy of being trained by my little dragon. Not bad, not bad. Just when Lin Rei was still not sure, the little dragon's voice came. Suddenly, Lin Rei realized his previous imagination. Suddenly, his eyes widened. He looked as if he could not believe it, could not believe it. How is this possible? This is the immortal realm. How can there be devil chi? Moreover, there seems to be something strange here. At this moment, Lin Rei knew that his doubts could only be explained by the system's little dragon. Therefore, Lin Rei did not argue and asked directly. However, even if Lin Rei asked, the little dragon might not necessarily submit. Sure enough, the little dragon's answer made Lin Rei want to beat someone up. I can't tell you the whole story. I can only say that this is devil chi. You guessed it right. But other than that, you'll have to investigate the rest by yourself. The moment it finished speaking, the little dragon's voice disappeared. Lin Rei stood there in a daze, thinking. His eyebrows were tightly knitted, and he did not look very good. In response, the 2 celestial emperors behind him hurried forward and asked in a concerned tone, "Young master, what's troubling you? Can you tell us? We might be able to help you." Hearing the 2's words, Lin Li woke up from his own world and said with a worried expression, "Just now, I felt a trace of demonic energy." What, devil chi? Chapter 392. Yes, that's right. It's the demonic chi. I can still distinguish it. So, we have to stay here for a few more days. Maybe we can meet something interesting. Listening to their master's words, the two immortal emperors' faces showed a dignified expression, as if something bad was going to happen. Suddenly, Lin Rei also became nervous. At first, he was not nervous, but the atmosphere became more and more tense. Lin Rei did not know what to do. Hey, I say, enough. Isn't it just the demonic chi? What's the big deal? Look at you all making a fuss about nothing. At this time, Lin Rei did not understand. Wasn't it just the demonic chi in the immortal realm? What's the big deal? He also had the demonic chi. He did not feel that there was anything wrong. Alas, young master, I'm afraid you still don't know the whole story. Let's find a place and sit down. We will tell you the ins and outs of this matter slowly. As he spoke, Linley began to walk forward. Naturally, the other two followed behind him. Soon, Lin Rei came to his family's restaurant, the Dawn Moon Restaurant. The restaurant was quite big, but there was no one. Moreover, there was a group of people who looked like thugs at the door. Looking at the people at the door, Lin Rei did not care. He lifted his foot and wanted to go inside. However, when he reached the door, he was stopped by a group of thugs behind the door. Hey, are you all blind? Our young master is eating inside. You all want to go in? Do you want to be killed? Huh? The words of the thugs stabbed Lin Rei's heart. They touched the reverse scale that he had always wanted to protect. Therefore, for the group of people in front of him, they were already on Lin Rei's death list. Oh, who is your young master? I don't know him, and I don't want to know him. Hurry up and get out of my way, otherwise. At this point, a vicious glint flashed in his eyes. All the thugs guarding the door trembled and immediately went over. Plop, 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 they all fell to the ground. Suddenly, this scene attracted the attention of the surrounding people. Child, hurry up and leave. The person inside is the young master of the Bai family, one of the 3 great families in Xiaoya City. He's not someone to be trifled with. You're still young. Hurry up and leave. Perhaps you'll still have a chance. At this moment, a guard came forward and tried to dissuade Lin Rei. However, what puzzled Lin Rei was that no matter how domineering the people inside were, it wasn't to the extent that everyone would be afraid of them. Sensing that something was wrong, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask the old man in front of him curiously, "Excuse me, why are you so afraid of the people inside? Even the 3 great clans wouldn't be so afraid." "Ah, run." As soon as he finished speaking, the surrounding people acted as if Lin Rei's words were a curse. She hurriedly ran over while screaming. Seeing this, Lin Rei felt helpless. It didn't seem like a big deal. Wasn't it just a question? Sigh. Young master, you may not know this, but this place is called Xiaoya City. It belongs to the Yale Kingdom. However, our place is too remote after all, so they don't care much about it. Just like that, the 3 great clans became the overlords of Xiaoya City. They're a nightmare to the people of Xiaoya City, and it's the kind of nightmare that we can never wake up from. At this point, the old man's body began to tremble violently. The fear in his eyes seemed to be innate and had already integrated into the old man's bones. It was as if he couldn't pull it out. Alright, let's talk about the next few years in detail. I'd like to hear what kind of strong people there are in this small Xiaoya city. At this moment, Lin Rei, full of interest, led his subordinates and the old man into the restaurant. At this moment, there was no one in the restaurant. Apart from the waiter at the bar, there was no one else in sight. Boss, give it to us. Bring out the best food you have here, and the best wine, bring it out for me. This sentence stunned the waiter. He didn't expect that there would still be people coming in to eat at this time, and among them was an old acquaintance, the old stubborn from the eastern city. For a moment, the waiter was so angry that he hurriedly walked out and said to the old man who came in with Lin Rei, "Old stubborn, do you want to die? Don't you know who's been here these years? Hurry up and leave. Your family is waiting for you to feed them." Although he was angry, his tone was full of concern. In this regard, Lin Rei's previous image of the waiter improved. I. The old stubborn wanted to say something, but before he could say anything, he was stopped by Lin Rei and ordered. All right, you don't have to worry about it. Find me a place by the window. It doesn't need to be big, just enough to sit the three of us. Bring out the best wine and dishes, don't worry too much. With that, he threw a top-grade spiritual stone to the waiter and asked him to prepare it. Alas. Well, but don't blame me for not counting you. Today, the other one is not in a good mood. You have to be careful. The waiter didn't say anything more and went to the back to ask the chef to cook. At this time, Lin Rei happened to have the opportunity to ask the old man about the distance. Alas, young master, you may not know that although we seem to be in a city, we're actually close to each other. We're the efforts of being locked up. If the master is unhappy, we'll be miserable. Do you see the group of guards at the city gate? Well, I see. What's wrong? Listening to the old man's words, Lin Rei didn't know why he was talking about himself. Why did he mention the guards at the gate? To put it nicely, they are guards. In other words, they are here to prevent us from escaping. At this moment, Lin Rei finally understood what he meant. He didn't expect the three families to be so crazy. Alas. The three big clans have been here for thousands of years. Our city has always been under the control of the three big clans. They kill, burn, rape, and plunder. There's nothing they won't do. However, if they see a beautiful girl in the city, they will kidnap her or threaten her family to send her to them. Otherwise, their whole family will die. At this time, after hearing the old man's words, Lin Rei was extremely angry. Not only Lin Rei, but also the two celestial emperors. They had never seen such a thing. It was simply too crazy. It was hard to believe that such a thing could happen in this world. Alas. It's been thousands of years. We've given up. Moreover, I heard that the Bai family is a branch of the Bai family in the central region. Therefore, I hope that all the people who come here will leave after hearing the news. No one dares to ask about this matter. Finally, the old man finished talking about the things in his heart. His whole body relaxed a lot. It was a good thing to speak out the words that had been in his heart for many years. Otherwise, sooner or later, he would be suffocated. Okay, don't worry. Everything will be fine. At this moment, Lin Rei could only comfort the old man. As for the three families, they had been blacklisted in Lin Rei's heart. It was only a matter of time before they were exterminated. Dong dong. Dong dong. Suddenly, there was a sound of stairs. At this moment, after hearing the sound, the old man trembled violently. His face was full of fear. At this time, after a middle-aged man came down the stairs, his body was swaying. It was obvious that he was drunk. You bunch of ants, eating at the same table as this young master in a restaurant really disgusts this young master to death. Hurry up and get out of this young master's sight. Otherwise, your whole family will die. The men will die, and the women, will be XXX. Hearing that person's words, Lin Rei's lips curled up slightly. A trace of an evil smile appeared on his face, and his killing intent leaked out uncontrollably. Those who touch my reverse scale will die. Yes, I understand, young master. As soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, an immortal emperor next to him understood tacitly. He stood up and walked towards the young master of the so-called family. Bam, crack. Ah. The sound of bones breaking came from the middle-aged man's arm, accompanied by a scream. Suddenly, the middle-aged man sobered up. Ah. You. Who are you? Don't you know that I'm the eldest son of the Bai family in Xiaoyi City? You. Bam. Crack. Another sound of bones breaking. The middle-aged man who claimed to be the young master of the Bai family immediately shut his mouth. Bam, Crack. Plop. The middle-aged man knelt down in front of Lin Rei. At this moment, the middle-aged man couldn't help but threaten him. Humph, news. I'm the son of Bai Xiaoxiong, the head of the Bai family. Moreover, our Bai family is a branch of the Bai family in the central region. Aren't you afraid that the Bai family? Bam, crack. Bam's legs were broken by the immortal emperors brought by Lin Rei. At this moment, Bam knew that he had met a tough opponent today. Hee, news. Hee, if you let me go, we'll call it even. I won't report you, as long as you let me go. At this moment, Bam, who was forced to kneel on the ground, began to admit defeat. However, this was simply a joke to Lin Rei. Coming. Suddenly, a voice broke the high imitation. The young man who had entered the back of the bar came back with a plate of fragrant meat in his hand. However, the moment he saw Bai Yinzi, the plate fell to the ground with a clang. The meat on the plate fell to the ground. Immediately, the young man was so frightened that he knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Young master, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. It's all. Hee, well, it's okay. You can go and get more. Lin Rei felt helpless about the young man's actions. It seemed that the young man was used to being curious. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't say anything more and let him leave. Yes, thank you. Thank you, young master. Chapter 393. After the waiter left, Lin Rei turned his attention to Bai Yin, who was kneeling on the ground. Lin Rei wanted to slap him to death. However, Lin Rei did not do so because he had a better idea. Lin Rei had a better idea. Stubborn old man, don't you hate him? Today, I'll make the decision for you. You can vent your anger however you want. You can even kill him. The old man was moved by Lin Rei's words. However, when he thought that the person in front of him would leave sooner or later, he did not move. Instead, he sat on the ground obediently. The fear in his eyes was self-evident. Looking at the old man who hadn't made a move yet, Lin Li pondered for a moment, then quickly understood what was going on. Wang Kuei, go and capture everyone in this so-called Bai family. Remember, all of them. Don't hurt them. Bring them all to the restaurant. Yes, young master. Hearing Lin Li's order, Wang Kuei hurriedly stood up and responded with a face full of excitement. When his companion had taught Silver a lesson, he had already lost control. Now that he had received the order, how could he not be excited? He was more than happy to make this trip to deal with such a lowly creature. As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Kuei disappeared from everyone's sight. Everyone who saw this scene was stunned. Especially when he heard Lin Rei say that he wanted to capture everyone in the Bai family and bring them to the restaurant. The old man thought that he had heard wrongly. The moment Wang Kuei disappeared, he thought that maybe it was true. However, the old man didn't have much hope. However, Bai Yin, who was kneeling on the ground, didn't think the same way. When he saw Wang Kuei disappear, he felt that something was wrong. A bad feeling rushed to his head. At this moment, Wang Kuei arrived in the sky above a big house in the center of Xiaoyi city. He released his divine sense and immediately, all the people and things in the Bai family appeared in his mind. This included the place hundreds of miles underground. He did not even let go of a corner. At this moment, there were more than 100 people in the Bai family. The most powerful cultivator was a golden immortal of the great all-embracing heaven. Wang Kuei's lips curled into a disdainful smile. Sigh, to be able to dominate a city with this level of cultivation, I'm really drunk. Without wasting any time, his body disappeared in the air and instantly rushed into the Bai clan. With immortal Emperor Wang Kuei's strength, it was simply too easy to annihilate them. In less than a minute, the 100+ people were all suspended in the air by his immortal chi. Senior, may I, 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 have offended you? At this moment, a middle-aged man wrapped in immortal chi asked Wang Kuei with a puzzled expression. At this time, a piece of flesh was bitten off from Bai Xiaoxiong's shoulder. His mouth was full of blood, which was terrifying. Even Lin Rei, who killed people without blinking, felt a cold wind blowing on his back. Ah! My son! My son! At this time, Bai Xiaoxiong, who was lying behind, saw that his son was hurt like this. For a moment, he began to struggle. However, for a golden immortal of the great all-embracing heaven, how could he break free from Lin Rei, who was an immortal lord? Slap, slap, slap. Suddenly, there was a series of slapping sounds. At this moment, the old man began to go crazy. He held Bai Xiaoxiong's face and slapped him again and again. As he slapped, he said with conviction, "Devil, you are all devils. Why did you come to my Xiaoya city? Why did you treat my people as beasts? Why did you give my daughter to you, you devil, you bastard?" The old man's words were not particularly loud. However, as a cultivator, how could Linli not hear them? Seeing the look on the old man's face, Linli did nothing to stop him. Even if the members of the Bai family were to be cut into 1,000 pieces, they would not be able to endure even 1/10,000th of the pain. As for Bai Xiaoxiong, he struggled on the ground as if he had gone crazy. However, in the end, it was still useless. He could only waste his strength. Young master, can I also?" At this time, a weak and almost inaudible voice came into his ears. After hearing it, Lin Rei turned around and saw that it was the young man at the bar. Seeing the look on his face, Lin Li immediately knew what he was thinking. "Go." "Yes, thank you, young master." In an instant, the young man at the bar rushed up and began to madly retaliate. Lin Rei had no sympathy for this situation. Go and tie up all the people of the other two families. Seal their cultivation and throw them in a wide place. All the people of Xiaoya City who have been wronged will go there to vent their hatred. It's up to them whether they want to kill or scrape." At this time, looking at the young man, Lin Rei knew that the other two families were not so good. Therefore, Lin Rei made up his mind to help Xiaoya City. "Yes, young master, we obey." Whoosh, whoosh. After receiving the order, the two left Lin Rei's side and went to do the task given by Lin Rei. Xiaoya City would always remember this day in the future. It was the day when Xiaoya City broke away from the past. Today was the turning point for Xiaoya City. As for the person who had done them the greatest kindness, it was Linli, who had helped them. In their hearts, aside from Linli, they didn't recognize anyone else. Linli was quite certain of Wang Kuei and Wang Wen's ability to get things done. Thus, not long afterwards, all of the people of Dawnmoon City gathered in an empty area in the eastern part of the city. They began to recollect the humiliation they had suffered for 1,000 years, as well as 1,000 years of hatred. However, in Xiaoya restaurant, Bai Yin had been tortured to death by the old man. More than half of Kai's family had died. As for the rest, they had all fainted without seeing this scene. Plop. At this moment, the old man and the young man came before Lin Rei and knelt on the ground, kowtowing to Lin Rei with gratitude. "Thank you, young noble, for giving us this opportunity. No matter what happens in the future, we won't regret it." Hearing their words, Lin Rei smiled. They didn't know about Lin Rei's previous order to Wang Kuei and Wang Wen. Don't worry, your waning moon city is safe from now on. No one will bully you anymore. The people of the other two clans have already been tortured to death by the entire city in the open space of the eastern city. These words caused the old man and the young man to sit on the ground with tears in their eyes. What shocked Lin Rei even more was that they were tears of blood. Father has avenged you, don't worry. After hearing the old man's words, everyone became silent and didn't say anything. Time quickly passed and the old man recovered from his sorrow. At this moment, his spirit was much better. His previous decadence was swept away as if he was a different person. As the saying goes, people are in high spirits during happy events. It was probably because the martial arts clans were destroyed and they were all freed. Okay, your viciousness has been resolved, so there is no point in keeping these people alive. Just as he finished speaking, a huge flaming tiger appeared and swallowed everyone on the ground, regardless of whether they were alive or dead. Chapter 394. Plop. At this moment, the flaming tiger suddenly appeared and threw the stubborn old man and the young man to the ground. Their faces were full of shock and fear, and their legs were trembling. Cold sweat overflowed from their foreheads and flowed down freely, drenching their clothes. His entire body was plastered to the two of them. Seeing this, Linley couldn't help but feel panic for them. Hee, okay, don't be afraid. It's my mount. It won't hurt you. Looking at the red flaming tiger that he had not summoned for a long time, its cultivation had already reached the golden immortal realm. He had to admit that it was very hard-working. Master, you haven't looked for me for a long time. I thought you had forgotten about me. At this time, after eating the people of the Bai family, the flaming tiger turned around and complained to Lin Ray. Its eyes were full of pity. Suddenly, Lin Ray felt guilty. At this moment, the flaming tiger's body wasn't very big. It was about the size of the restaurant, which was just right. Seeing this, Linley hurriedly made it smaller, so small that it wouldn't affect others. Oh, no, how could I forget about you? I was so busy recently that I forgot about you. Okay, come quickly. You just ate so much, be careful of malnutrition. Whoosh. Hearing Lin Ray's call, the flaming tiger came directly to Lin Ray's side. Then, it crawled under Lin Ray's feet and wanted to lick Lin Ray's ankle. Don't, I just ate so many people. The innermost part is full of flesh. If you lick me like this, I'll have to change my clothes. Knowing little tiger's habit, Lin Ray quickly stopped it. He did not want to change his clothes for no reason. I know. After saying this, it lay on the ground, speechless. At this time, the stubborn old man and the young man stood up from the ground. They were very respectful, and their faces were full of awe. That's enough. Just take it that I'm still the person you wanted to remind. Also, hurry up and serve the dishes. No one will disturb us now. Looking at Old Stubborn and Old Stubborn, Linley said something to the two of them. Old Stubborn obediently sat down, while the young man at the bar, upon hearing Linley's words, walked in with an awkward look on his face. At the same time, he muttered in his heart, this ground is covered in blood, and he killed so many people before. How can he eat this? He didn't feel it when he was killing people, but now that he thought about it, his stomach began to churn, and the urge to vomit grew stronger and stronger. In the end, he couldn't help but vomit at the back of the restaurant. Lin Ray was very clear about the actions of the bartender. Seeing this situation, Lin Ray just smiled and didn't say anything. Young master, thank you for helping our Waning Moon City deal with the 3 great clans. We will forever remember this kindness in our hearts. We will also tell our future generations to remember young master's saving grace. Listening to Old Stubborn's thanks, Lin Ray was already tired of hearing it. He quickly stopped him and said, Alas. I already said no need, and you're still like this. If you continue like this, I will leave immediately. Saving you was just a coincidence. Besides, this kind of thing, any cultivator would do it. So, no need to thank me. At this point, Old Stubborn didn't say any more words of thanks. He already treated Lin Ray's orders as his own life. Right, I don't understand. Born in the immortal world, even if they are not particularly powerful, they should have cultivation. Why is it that in this waning moon city, only the 3 great clans have cultivators, and the others? After entering waning moon city, Lin Rei found that basically all the people here were ordinary people. They didn't have any cultivation, and they didn't even have a trace of spiritual root. However, only the 3 great clans had cultivators, which made Lin Rei very puzzled. Lin Rei still had a good understanding of the immortal world. In the immortal world, even if an ordinary person was born with spiritual root, Lin Rei's understanding of this place was very different. Of course, although Lin Rei knew that there were ordinary people in the immortal world, and there were quite a few of them, to say that this city was full of ordinary people, and only the 3 great clans were cultivators, Lin Rei found it hard to believe. At the same time, it also didn't make sense. Alas! Old Stubborn, who was sitting next to him, was also very puzzled after hearing Lin Rei's question. However, he still told him the problem here. "Young master, there's something you don't know." Old Stubborn's face was full of sadness as he said, "All of us here are ordinary people, and the 3 great clans were all established when they moved in from the outside world. The natives of Waning Moon City, who were born and raised here, don't have any spiritual root at birth." They don't have it at birth? Lin Rei asked doubtfully towards Old Stubborn's words. It was reasonable to say that ordinary people would have a trace of spiritual root at birth, not to mention spiritual root, which should be formed in the mother's womb. However, Old Stubborn was very different from Lin Rei's understanding. Looking at Lin Rei's doubtful face, Old Stubborn knew that he didn't believe it, so he explained, "It's true. I don't know why, but we've been like this for thousands of years. I heard from the old ancestors that many strong people had appeared here before, but thousands of years ago, it became like this. Our spiritual root were all stripped away, as if we were cursed. Regarding this, all the people of Waning Moon City are very helpless. Moreover, we've also asked a few experts to take a look, but they didn't know the reason either." Listening to Old Stubborn's explanation, in addition to Old Stubborn's serious face, Lin Rei knew that this matter should be true. However, Lin Rei still couldn't understand. There were tens of thousands of people in the city, how could there not be a single person with spiritual root? Even if they didn't have spiritual root, having spiritual root was also fine, but there wasn't a single one here. As the saying goes, there must be a demon when things are abnormal. Inside, there must be something fishy that Lin Rei didn't know, but Lin Rei still didn't know. "AI, alright." At this point, Lin Rei didn't have any more questions to ask. It had been like this for thousands of years. Perhaps it was really like what Old Stubborn said, it was possible that there was some kind of curse here. If that really was the case, then Linley really wouldn't be able to help even if he wanted to. If it was just a minor illness, Linley might be able to cure it. But Linley had never heard of a curse before. "We greet Sect Master. Your task has been completed. At this moment, there are no cultivators left in Waning Moon City except for us. The 3 clans have all been destroyed." Suddenly, a quiet voice appeared, startling Old Stubborn, who was sitting on his seat and causing him to fall down from his seat. The big movement made Lin Rei want to laugh, but he was too embarrassed to do so. Alright, you guys also sit down, I understand." While Lin Rei and Old Stubborn were talking, the young man at the bar had already served the dishes one after another. There were dishes and wine. Looking at the dishes on the table, Lin Rei couldn't help but eat. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't have the image of a master from before. Even Wang Kuei and Wang Wen were the same. They didn't have the demeanor and elegance of an immortal emperor. The way they ate was extremely ugly. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task of destroying the 3 clans in Waning Moon City. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for obtaining the Heaven Raising Palm, a mid-grade zone realm palm technique. This palm technique has a total of 3 moves. The first move is the Heaven Raising Palm, the second move is the Earth Shaking Palm, and the third move is the God Destroying Palm. Each move is 3 times as powerful as the previous one. If the level is high enough, it can even destroy the god-destroying palm. The sudden happiness made Lin Ray a little unprepared. Lin Ray didn't know that his unintentional action could actually complete the hidden task, and the task reward was a zone realm palm technique. If he learned it, then... Thinking of this, Lin Ray began to fantasize. The large piece of meat and wine in his hand stopped in the air. This action made everyone else stunned. At this time, Lin Ray was like a fool. He stared blankly in front of him and smiled foolishly. For a moment, no one could figure out what was going on. How could he suddenly become like this? There was no advance warning. Damn, what's going on? How did the young master become like this? After seeing Lin Ray's appearance, Wang Kuei panicked and didn't know what to do. Wang Wen was the same as Wang Kuei. Except for panic, he didn't dare to do anything else. They just kept looking at Lin Ray. At this moment, they were not in the mood to eat. Everyone was very worried, including the flaming tiger lying on the ground. However, they didn't know that Lin Ray was in a very good mood at this time. Ding Dong discovered the heaven-raising palm, a mid-grade zone realm palm technique. I don't know if the host wants to learn the first move, heaven-raising palm. Oh, this is too fast. I can learn the first move just like this? At this time, listening to the system's voice, Lin Ray still couldn't believe it. If it was in the past, without a month of reference, Lin Ray wouldn't be able to figure out the way. Now, the system had been upgraded and it was so convenient. Learn it, hurry up. For such a fierce martial technique, Lin Ray couldn't wait. Lin Ray couldn't wait to get a few more of such martial techniques. Hee, this kid, do you think that a zone realm palm technique is a cabbage on the roadside? A few more? You really dare to say that? The little dragon's voice didn't make Lin Ray feel strange. Therefore, the moment the little dragon appeared, Lin Ray didn't feel any discomfort. This was because Lin Ray knew that there were only 3 reasons why the little dragon came out. First, it came out to bicker with him. Second, he was in trouble. Third, it was something he couldn't solve. Of course, the second and third reasons were similar. There was no need to delve into it. Looking at the little dragon's current state, Lin Ray couldn't see why the little dragon came out this time. Ding Dong, learning sky-raising palm. Host, please wait. Listening to the system's words, Lin Ray ignored it. After all, it was just an emotionless electronic synthesized voice. However, it wasn't the same for the little dragon. Say it, you didn't come out just to bicker with me, did you? As soon as he said this, a smile appeared on the little dragon's face. However, after the smile, it immediately became serious. It was as if the little dragon's personality had changed. Lin Ray also put away his smile and listened seriously to what the little dragon was going to say next. Weren't you very puzzled as to why the original residents of Xiaoya City didn't have any spiritual roots and spirituality? You know? Listening to the little dragon's words, Lin Ray immediately became interested. The little dragon's words were very confident. He even forgot about the sky-raising palm that he was learning. He looked at the little dragon curiously, waiting for his explanation. Oh, actually it's nothing. Didn't you feel a trace of devil chi here before? The more the little dragon spoke, the more puzzled Lin Ray became. What did the people here have to do with devil chi? This was a little too far off. Don't doubt it, kid. This place has been eroded by the devil chi for thousands of years. The reason why no one here has spirituality and spiritual roots is because their ancestors have been eroded by the devil chi for generations. Let me ask you, if that's the case, will their children still have spiritual roots and spirituality? At this moment, the little dragon's words were like an atomic bomb in Lin Ray's mind. This amount of information was a little too much for him to accept. It was too much. Little dragon, are you sure that everyone in Xiaoya City has devil chi? Chapter 395. Lin Rei believed the little dragon's words very much, but this matter was too much. This was the immortal realm. A city of people was corroded by the devil Qi, but they were still able to survive in the immortal realm. This Lin Rei did not know what to do. Yes, I'm sure. Moreover, they are no longer considered people of the immortal realm. Their ancestors were corroded by the devil Qi and then gave birth to them. It can be said that they already belong to the devil clan. And the reason why they can survive in the immortal realm is because they have both the immortal and devil physiques. This is also why they don't have spiritual roots. The little dragon's explanation was very clear. Lin Rei also understood it very well. However, regarding this matter, no one in Xiaoya City was aware of it. This really made Lin Rei speechless. Then tell me, why can't others see it? Logically speaking, there are people of the devil clan in the immortal realm. Others should be able to sense it. Why can they survive here for thousands of years? Linley was even more confused about this. According to what stubborn old man had said before, he had invited some powerful beings to help them take a look. However, why didn't they dislike this place being corroded by the demonic Qi, and instead allowed them to continue living here? Listening to Lin Rei's question, Lin Rei impatiently explained. I don't know about this. I'm only responsible for answering you. You don't need to know the rest. As for what happens next, it's up to you. After speaking, the little dragon did not speak again, leaving Lin Rei alone to make a decision. He did not know what to do. At this moment, the people outside saw Lin Rei like this and could not help but call out, young master, young master. Lin Rei, who was in deep thought, was awakened by Wang Kuei's voice. After waking up, he realized the previous situation and immediately felt embarrassed. It's nothing. You guys continue to eat, continue to eat. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei no longer had the mood to eat. When he thought about how the people in the city were all demons, Lin Rei didn't know how to explain it to the stubborn old man. Of course, this kind of information naturally couldn't be spread out. If anyone in the outside world knew about it, they would definitely send people to annihilate them. This was what Lin Rei didn't want to see. Thinking back to the demonic aura he had sensed when he had entered the city, Linley decided that he wanted to find out what exactly this place was for demonic aura to leak out. Logically speaking, the entrance to the demonic realm should be at the border of the Star River. Moreover, it was sealed by a boundary and guarded by powerful cultivators. It should not have been leaked. So why was there demonic Qi here? Regarding this, Lin Rei was puzzled. In any case, after entering Dawn Moon City, Lin Rei felt that everything was wrong, but he just couldn't figure out what was wrong. After making up his mind, Lin Rei returned to his senses and continued to eat. The meal was quickly finished. Immediately, he asked the waiter to open 3 rooms for Lin Rei and the others to stay in. At this time, Lin Rei was ready and only waited for the sky to turn dark. At this moment, the people of Dawn Moon City were crazy with joy. After bullying and humiliating them for so long, now that they were free, anyone would hold a banquet for a few months. At this time, they took out all the previous things from house to house, burned them, and replaced them with new things. Everything ended here and had nothing to do with the past. The stubborn old man was also among them. After finishing his meal with Lin Rei, he left and went home. At this time, Dawn Moon City was very lively. Lin Rei, who was sitting in the room of Dawn Moon Restaurant, sat cross-legged and began to close his eyes to rest, waiting for the arrival of night. Then, he looked around to see if there was any place near Dawn Moon City that could leak demonic Qi. Soon, the day passed and night fell. But it was strange. Lin Rei had seen all the previous actions in Dawn Moon City. But now, not to mention lively, there was not even a single person in the streets and alleys. It was empty. It was like an empty city. The silence made people a little scared and panicked. What's going on? Why is it like this? Maybe it's because of the demonic Qi's activity at night. Don't you feel that the demonic chi in your body is beginning to stir? At this moment, the little dragon's voice suddenly came. Lin Rei hurriedly looked inside. Sure enough, the demonic chi of the demonic / began to stir, as if something was summoning it. *CK, what should I do? Although Lin Rei was not afraid of all kinds of spiritual chi, he was still a little scared. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon laughed. Its face was full of ridicule for Lin Rei. Suddenly, Lin Rei was unhappy. Okay, it's just a little scared. What's the big deal? While speaking, Lin Rei, who was originally full of righteousness, softened at the end. There's no need. As long as you release the demonic chi of the demonic / and feel better, where does this demonic chi come from? Then, you can follow it and find out. Remember, the two celestial artifacts that are following you can't follow you. They themselves are practicing celestial arts. The demonic chi is corrosive spiritual chi. So, you know. At this point, he believed that even if he did not say it, Lin Rei would know. Okay, I know. After speaking, Lin Rei teleported and arrived on the street. This time, the little dragon did not disappear. Instead, it kept following Lin Rei. Feel with your heart. At the same time, you have to judge according to the direction of the demonic chi in your body. With the little dragon's reminder and Lin Rei's careful study, Lin Rei's divine sense soon sensed that the demonic chi came from the open land in the East City. Not bad, it's fast. Since you found it, let's hurry over. After the little dragon finished speaking, Lin Rei teleported toward the East City. After a while, Lin Rei appeared in the sky above the open land. At this time, Lin Rei saw a very spectacular scene. At this time, a large amount of demonic chi was seeping out from the open land under his feet. The amount was so large that Lin Rei could not believe it. What's going on? Why is there a large amount of demonic chi here? According to what you said, this demonic chi appeared 1,000 years ago. Why is there so much here? Of course, only the little dragon could answer this question full of doubts. However, the little dragon did not give the answer Lin Rei wanted this time. I've explained everything to you. What are you doing? You're asking for my time again. It's better to go down and see what's going on. Anyway, you already have the strength of an immortal master. Ordinary practitioners can't hurt you. You. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was furious. He originally thought that the little dragon would help him to the end, but he did not expect it to give up here. Suddenly, Lin Rei was both happy and angry with the little dragon. Okay. If you don't say it, don't tell me I don't know. He was angry, but most of it was because Lin Rei wanted to do so. Otherwise, he would not have come back to this place. With a swoosh, Lin Rei, who had finished speaking, plunged into the ground. The demonic chi was released and wrapped around Lin Rei. Then, Lin Rei slowly found that the demonic chi was thicker and purer as he went down. Lin Rei was even more curious about this. Lin Rei, if this time is not fake, there should be a devil's den underground. It is a devil's den left behind from ancient times. Moreover, it is a devil's den that has been sealed. However, with the passage of time, the seal became weaker and weaker. 1,000 years ago, a small hole was broken in the seal. That's why it became what it is today. After the little dragon, who had followed him, felt this aura, his face was full of ecstasy. However, Lin Rei was very puzzled. Lin Rei was very unfamiliar with the devil's den. Devil's den? What is a devil's den? Moreover, it is sealed. What seal? A lot of questions were asked. The little dragon did not know which one to answer. However, after thinking about it, he answered according to his own words. Devil's Den is something that exists in both the immortal world and the devil world. Although it is called a devil's den, it is actually a place where there are many devil race and beast race. Generally, after the appearance of a devil's den, as long as a disciple enters the trial, it can be said that it is really rapid. At this point, the little dragon's whole body trembled with excitement. His eyes emitted green light as he looked at Lin Ray. The corner of his mouth revealed an evil smile. Suddenly, Lin Ray felt a cold wind blowing on his back. He had a bad premonition. TSK, how should I put it? Lin Ray, why is your luck so good? Why is it that wherever you go, you will find secret realms, devil's den, all kinds of heaven and earth treasures? At this moment, the little dragon looked at Lin Ray with a strange expression. However, what he said was not wrong. How long has it been since he came to the immortal world? At first, it was the secret realm of the ancient capital. Then, it was the Sky Dome. Randomly coming to the most desolate border area, he could come across such a good place for trial. It was hard not to be suspicious. Looking at the little dragon's various expressions, for a moment, Lin Ray felt very uncomfortable. He said to the little dragon in an indifferent tone, "Well, let's not talk about other things. We haven't entered it yet. Who knows if it is empty or not? It is too early to say these things. We will know when we really enter it." After saying that, Lin Ray sped up and rushed down. The devil chi became purer and purer. Not long after, a space appeared in front of Lin Ray. The demonic aura was leaking out from the space he was in. Seeing the dense demonic aura rush out, Lin Ray didn't change it. At this moment, in front of him, there was an entrance. Traces of demonic aura were leaking out from that entrance. Damn, it is really a devil's den. However, it doesn't look like the level is very good. There are a lot of good things inside. Do you want to go in and take a look? At this moment, Xiaolong's words caused Lin Li to be somewhat tempted. Lin Li didn't care if he was a devil or an immortal, as long as he could use something that could increase his cultivation, that was enough. Besides, he had the devouring heaven spell. Why would he be afraid? Lin Ray, who was full of hesitation, hesitated for a while. Then, he agreed with a determined look in his eyes. Go in, why not? It is too slow to improve my cultivation now. Maybe I can find a way to break through to the middle stage. If that is the case, it will not be a waste of time to come here. Hee, I knew you would go in. Looking at the little dragon's smile and eyes full of confidence, the two suddenly laughed. Ha ha ha, good, then go in. For the devil's den, which already had an entrance, Lin Ray did not need the little dragon's help at all. Mighty Sky Palm, the first move, Mighty Sky Palm. Suddenly, he used the first move of the Mighty Sky Palm that he had just learned. Suddenly, a shocking palm print appeared, and the pressure was strong. It directly hit the entrance of the devil's Denver, bang. Rip. Lin Ray did not need to know that the Grandmaster realm was worthy of being called a Grandmaster realm. This palm was not even comparable to the Emperor realm's best cultivation method. Chapter 396. Lin Li's heavens raising palm had opened up an entrance that was large enough for him to enter. Boom! Once the opening appeared, the devil chi originally appeared from the palm-sized opening. But now, the opening was as tall as a person. It could be imagined that the devil chi was not the same as before. Damn, what should I do, little dragon? Looking at the devil chi squeezing out of the pupa, Lin Ray was dumbfounded for a moment. He did not expect it to be like this. Haha. At this time, the little dragon was at the side, gloating at everything that happened. The smile on his face was unavoidable. Seeing the little dragon's appearance, Lin Ray really wanted to rush up and give him a punch. However, in order to stop the devil chi from leaking out, Lin Ray could only submit to the little dragon. As the saying goes, those who take advantage of others have soft lips. Since he was asking for help, he had to lower his stance. However, Lin Ray seemed to have forgotten at this moment that he himself was an emperor-level array master. Any array he set up could stop it. Perhaps he was disappointed, or perhaps he did not think of it in his panic. Okay, but it's still the old rules. Hearing Xiaolong's words, Lin Li's face darkened and he rolled his eyes. Then, he nodded in agreement. Okay. In fact, the old rules for the little dragon were exchange points and reputation points. There was nothing else. Seal. Lin Rei did not see how the little dragon learned at all. Suddenly, a golden light was emitted from the little dragon's hand and directly imprinted on the previously broken boundary. The result was obvious. As soon as the seal took effect, all the devil chi was immediately stopped. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei was relieved. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that when he broke the seal and the demonic chi rushed out, Wang Kuei and Wang Wen, who were in the Waning Moon restaurant, felt the shocking demonic chi. They rushed out of the room and arrived at the source of the demonic chi. It wasn't just Wang Kuei and his companion, but also cultivators who weren't willing to leave Dawn Moon City. They quickly rushed over when they sensed the demonic chi. However, when they arrived and were about to investigate, the demonic chi dissipated as if it had never appeared. *CK, what's going on? Are you playing with us? At this moment, the two middle-aged men who had arrived from afar spoke in a displeased manner. However, Wang Kuei and Wang Chang, who had arrived before them, prepared to leave when they saw that the demonic chi had dissipated. Hey, wait! A discordant voice, one that Wang Kuei did not want to hear, rang out. Wang Kuei and the other man immediately stopped. His tone was full of arrogance as he said to Wang Kuei and the other man, "Hey, you two, tell us about the situation here." Hearing their words, Wang Kuei and the other man turned around. One of them looked extremely wretched, while the other had sharp teeth that made people uncomfortable. Wang Kuei immediately lost the urge to talk to them. Without saying a word, Wang Kuei turned around and flew toward the Waning Moon restaurant with Wang Wen. However, there were really people who dared to stop them. "Hey, boy, we're disciples of the Bai family in the central region. If you want to live, stop right where you are and don't move, or else." "Oh, or else what?" At this moment, Wang Kuei seemed to have heard something very interesting. Hearing their words, Wang Kuei couldn't help but recall that the Bai family in Dawn Moon City had said the same thing today. Then, Wang Kuei and the other man continued to fly forward with disdain. When the people behind them saw that Wang Kuei and the other man didn't listen to their orders and weren't afraid even after mentioning the Bai family, they immediately thought that the other party was just pretending. So, they chased after them and attacked them. You refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. I'm a direct descendant of the Bai family. How dare you treat us like this? Go to hell. With that, the self-proclaimed direct descendant of the Bai family raised his sword and stabbed at Wang Kuei. As the saying goes, if you can fight, try not to force. As Confucius said, if you learn, you can practice. If you take a brick, use all your strength, until you're dead. Since the other party attacked, there was no need for Wang Kuei to stay in office. Originally, he wanted to let them go, but now, with Lin Rei's order, Wang Kuei couldn't bear it anymore. With a whoosh, Wang Kuei disappeared from where he was. When he reappeared, he was behind the two men, each of his hands grabbing one of their necks. He said to them with a murderous look on his face. "People say don't be cheap, but you keep coming here to be cheap. I killed a branch of your Bai family before, but I didn't expect you people to be so shameless. You're forcing a duck to a perch and courting death." No. The sudden change caught the two of them off guard, but they already had a chance. When they realized that the situation was not right, they were about to beg for mercy. Gotcha! Wang Kuei exerted force with both hands, and broke the necks of the two men. Then, he threw them to the ground. "Let's go." At this time, Wang Wen, who didn't make a move, said to Wang Kuei when he saw that the two of them were dead. Then, he disappeared from where he was. Haha. Looking at Wang Wen's action, Wang Kuei smiled and didn't say anything. Then, he teleported and followed. *CK, what have I been doing for the past few years? Why is it so disgusting? At this time, in the demon's den, Lin Rei looked at the rotten things around him and couldn't help but retch. Originally, Lin Rei thought that he wouldn't be able to escape after the little dragon sealed the entrance of the cave. However, after hearing the little dragon's words, he closed his eyes and rushed forward into the demon's den. However, no one expected that the entrance of the demon's den would be a cliff. As expected, Lin Rei fell down directly. Fortunately, Lin Rei's body was strong and the cliff wasn't very high. Therefore, Lin Rei wasn't injured. However, what disgusted Lin Rei was that he fell into a pile of rotten corpses. A viscous liquid was squeezed between Linley's palms. Instantly, Linley was so disgusted that he rolled his eyes in disgust. If it weren't for the little dragon's call, he probably wouldn't have woken up. Ha ha ha, Lin Rei, I didn't expect you to faint from disgust. I'm really convinced, ha ha ha. Being ridiculed by the little dragon was unavoidable. Therefore, Lin Rei could only endure it. However, when he thought of how he fell into a pile of rotten corpses, Lin Rei's stomach churned. Fortunately, he didn't eat anything at night. However, Lin Rei was puzzled. This place had been sealed for many years. Why were there still rotten corpses here? Moreover, judging from their appearance and body shape, they were still human. This was what puzzled Lin Rei. This is nothing. There's devil chi and some other spiritual chi here. Therefore, those who die here won't turn into bones. Instead, they'll turn into zombies or something else. At this time, knowing that Lin Rei was puzzled, the little dragon quickly jumped out and explained to Lin Rei in a tone full of pride. Humph. Looking at the little dragon, Lin Rei snorted coldly and walked into the depths. Along the way, Lin Rei saw a lot of novel things. However, Lin Rei didn't see any of the devil clan species or zombies that the little dragon mentioned. Other than the strong smell of rot, there was nothing else. However, the little dragon, who was following at the side, also felt very strange. Slowly, as Lin Rei and the little dragon walked deeper and deeper, the little dragon's face became more and more embarrassed. Hiss, is this really a devil's den without anything? But that shouldn't be the case. If it's empty, why is there still a seal at the entrance of the devil's den? At this time, the little dragon muttered in his heart. Perhaps sometimes, he doubted his own decision. However, soon, the little dragon believed that there was definitely something in these few years. It was just that Lin Rei hadn't discovered it yet. After making up his mind, the little dragon took the lead and walked in front of Lin Rei, leading Lin Rei all the way to the front. However, the deeper they went, the more disappointed Linley became. Along the way, it wasn't as dangerous as Xiaolong had described. There wasn't even a single demonic beast or anything else. There wasn't even a single living thing. Slowly, Lin Rei lost confidence in this place. Unless you burn it to ashes, otherwise, TSK. Chapter 397. *CK, why didn't you say so earlier? Why did you have to make me look bad before making sarcastic remarks here? I really want to shoot you too. At this time, listening to the little dragon's belated speech, Lin Rei really did not know whether to laugh or cry. If he had said this before killing the zombie, it was estimated that the zombie would have been dead by now. Now, he had lost a lot of face. As the saying goes, a fall into the pit, a gain in your wit. This was the only time he made a mistake. If he encountered such a thing in the future, he would know. Yes, it's my fault. Knowing that Lin Rei was angry because of the previous incident, the little dragon quickly moved his thin body closer to Lin Rei's side and said with an, I know I was wrong, expression. Actually, I wanted to tell you before, but before I finished, you had already attacked. This is too much, I have to blame you for not listening to my words. However, a great man does not bear grudges against a petty person. I won't argue with you. You. Hearing how Xiaolong was unable to defend himself, but was still able to confidently state that he was right, Linley was completely speechless at this moment. Okay, you're really good, I won't talk to you anymore. He did not want to see the little dragon's shameless face again, so he reorganized his mood and quickly chased into the depths of the cave, in order to wash away his shame and destroy the zombie that had slipped away from his hands. At the same time, he also did not want the little dragon to be by his side, reminding him of this matter and mocking him at the same time. Oh, this heart, it's really... Looking at the angry Lin Ray rushing into the depths of the devil's den, the little dragon, who was still outside, showed a happy smile on his face. Humph, there will be better things waiting for you in 1,000 years, I hope you can live happily. At this point, the happy smile on his face suddenly turned into a sinister smile. If Lin Ray was here and saw the little dragon's expression, he would definitely be more careful and vigilant. He wouldn't be like now, directly rushing in without a care for the consequences. Xiao, in an instant, seeing Lin Ray's departing figure, the little dragon hurriedly chased after him to prevent Lin Ray from encountering any mishaps. In the core hall of a sect in the center of the central region, a middle-aged man wearing a gorgeous brocade robe and a flat imperial crown was glaring angrily at He Zi, who was kneeling before him. Humph, it's been so many years, but you can't even find a single person. Tell me, what else can you people from the Dark Shadow Division do? Did I raise you to be a freeloader? His words were as cold as ice, chilling to the bone. After the black-clothed man kneeling below heard these words, his entire body began to tremble violently. The muscles on his face also twitched irregularly, as if he was twitching. His eyes were filled with terror, fear, worry, and gloominess. His voice was trembling as he spoke, making it difficult for others to hear him clearly. Sect. Sect Master, it's your subordinate's fault. Humph, fault? You want me to let you go just because of a fault? That's too easy for you. Why don't you go to the Dragon Cave and experience it? As soon as these words were spoken, the man kneeling on the ground instantly rolled his eyes and fainted on the ground. Even though he was unconscious, his body was still twitching non-stop. Hee, useless things. If I knew you guys were so useless, I might as well have just killed you. Looking at the unconscious man under the blanket, the middle-aged man wearing the flat imperial crown calmed down a little. All right, wake up. As he spoke, the middle-aged man waved his hand, and a stream of immortal chi left his hand and entered the unconscious man's body. Ah! With a groan, the unconscious man slowly opened his eyes. Then, he seemed to have thought of something, and his eyes suddenly froze. Immediately, he collapsed on the ground again. At this moment, he was even more terrified. I was wrong. Sect Master, please forgive me. Looking at the black-clothed man, the middle-aged man sighed and said, All right, since you didn't find it, then so be it. However, I can give you another chance. If you mess up again, I will let you have a taste of the Dragon Cave. Do you remember? Yes, I remember. Sect Master, please give the order. I will not return until I complete the task. As soon as these words were spoken, the man's face was filled with determination. He stopped moving and listened seriously. Not bad. Now, I want you to go and discuss with a few other fellow Taoists and see how we should deal with this mysterious sect. Originally, it was enough that the immortal world only had 5 major sections. Now that another one has forcefully squeezed in, let them think about it. If they come to a decision, just let them reply to me. Phew. After hearing the sect master's words, the man heaved a sigh of relief. It was as if this task was simple. Yes, I will do it now. I will not disgrace the reputation of the Qingkuan sect. You may leave. After speaking, the sect master didn't look at the black-clothed man anymore. He turned around and closed his eyes to think. Whoosh. The black-clothed man gave the order and disappeared from the main hall. At this moment, the sect master of the Qianquan sect, who had his eyes closed, curled his lips into a playful smile. His eyes were filled with disdain. Humph, how dare a small Xuanzong sect like you try to break the balance of the immortal realm? What wishful thinking. I will let you know how many eyes this Ma Wangye has. As he spoke, his tone was cold and emotionless. It was as if these people had already given up on love. It was extremely frightening. Humph, let's see how I will let you escape this time. As the saying goes, I give you a chance. Since you don't know how to cherish it, don't blame me. At this moment, not too far away, Linley saw a corpse with a large hole in its head lying on the ground. He didn't know what it was doing, but when he saw this monster, he couldn't help but be enraged. He couldn't rely on anyone. You better be careful. After hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei didn't move. He just stared at him for a long time. Why are you staring at me? Sensing that something was wrong, the little dragon hurriedly asked Lin Rei, who had been staring at him for a long time. His face was filled with questions. I want to see if there is anyone behind you who wants to say something. If something goes wrong and you don't admit it, what should I do then? With a thud sound, as soon as Linley finished speaking, Xiaolong, who had been hovering in midair, fell to the ground. His face was filled with black lines, and he felt utterly helpless. Don't worry. There is nothing else to say. You can go now. After confirming that the little dragon had nothing to say, Lin Rei instantly changed. The martial emperor divine spear in his hand exuded the pressure of a divine weapon. A cold light flashed at the tip of the spear. The martial emperor divine spear trembled as if it was very happy at this moment. You are happy when you kill someone. Alas. I really don't know if this is good or bad. After saying that, Lin Rei had already arrived at the corpse lying on the ground. Die for me. Rumble. Linley stretched out his hand, and a blood-red fireball appeared. Spiritually, it pulsed within Linley's palm, as though it was a living creature with intelligence. Sensing the cold, insidious aura beneath its feet, the mirage bloodfire instantly charged upwards. Puff puff. Awoo. Awoo. Suddenly, the sound of burning followed the corpse's painful cry. At this moment, it seemed to form a movement. If someone came out again and heard this sound, they would definitely be horrified and have their hair stand on end. Slowly, the corpse's body was burned bit by the illusory spirit blood fire until it disappeared. The humiliation in Lin Rei's heart was relieved at this moment. Lin Rei, are you in a better mood now? Seeing Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon, who had been in the distance, directly opened Lin Rei's divine thought and said to Lin Rei with a treacherous smile. Looking at the little dragon's appearance and the little dragon's tone, Lin Rei suddenly felt that the situation was a little strange. Moreover, the surrounding aura was also strange. Previously, with the strength of the corpse, why did it not rush to kill him when he approached? With so many points, he had to be careful. It's too late. After saying this sentence, the little dragon's figure disappeared. When Lin Rei heard the little dragon's words, his previous thoughts were confirmed. In an instant, Lin Rei became vigilant and looked around vigilantly. His sharp eyes swept over every movement in the surroundings. Huff huff. Huff huff. Huff huff huff. Waves of cold wind blew past his back. The wind was accompanied by a stench that came with the wind. In an instant, the moment he smelled the foul smell, Lin Rei frowned and glanced around. Suddenly, one figure after another appeared in the surroundings. F***CK. I knew it, you're not that kind. As expected, Lin Rei's thoughts came true. Looking at the increasing number of corpses around him, Lin Rei's expression became serious. Although his strength was stronger than the corpses, it was not just 1 or 2 corpses. There were at least 100 of them. No matter how powerful a person was, he would be defeated by a group of corpses. Looking at the group of corpses around him, Lin Rei suppressed the foul smell and forced himself to be tough. As the saying goes, even if you lose, don't lose your dignity. At this moment, even if you can't defeat them, you can't lose your momentum. Hee, young man, enjoy this. After killing them, you'll get a good reward. Ding dong. Mission: kill all the corpses in the Devil's Den. Reward: middle stage immortal lord. F***ck. As soon as the little dragon finished speaking, the system issued a mission to Lin Rei. At this moment, even if he did not want to fight, he had to fight to the end. Chapter 398. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you that you can't replenish your immortal chi here if you run out. Although you have devil chi in your body, you can't replenish it either. Hence, it's not easy to help you level up. As soon as these words came out, Lin Li felt completely helpless. A surge of anger welled up in his heart, and his mood was extremely bad. How is this a trap? This is simply a trap. Killing zombies is one thing, but why can't I replenish my energy? Isn't this the same as letting me fight them hand to hand? When he thought of this, the hairs on Lin Li's body stood on end. At the same time, he was a little worried. Ow woo, standing on the spot, Lin Rei looked at the zombies rushing towards him. Without hesitation, he lifted the Martial Emperor Divine Spear, and the illusory spirit blood fire appeared at the right time. Like a small snake, it wrapped around the Martial Emperor Divine Spear. At this time, the Martial Emperor Divine Spear was already incomparably mighty, but now, it was even more demonic and moving. Poof! It pierced the head of the zombie closest to him. In an instant, the illusory spirit blood fire wrapped around it began to burn the zombie's brain. Boom! Lin Rei, who had increased his firepower, burned the zombie to ashes in an instant. But because of this, Lin Li could sense that even though he was only a demon corpse, he was using up an enormous amount of energy as well. After all, the illusory soul fire was extremely powerful. Activating it consumed a significant amount of energy. If this continued, he was afraid that after 3 days, he would not have any spiritual energy left to activate the illusory spirit blood fire. Feeling the strange seriousness of the situation, Lin Rei's face was as gloomy as water. At the same time, his heart sank. Humph, little dragon, you tricked me this time. Let's see if I don't get back at you in the future. I'll let you know that you're courting death. Poof, poof. Another critical hit and another 2 zombies left. However, there were hundreds of thousands of zombies around, densely packed like ants. It was a headache. When the F***ck is this going to end? Just like that, Lin Rei began his massacre. Although they were all dead, Lin Rei could still feel his murderous aura gradually increasing after killing them. 1 step killed 1 person, 10 steps killed 10. Basically, Lin Rei could be considered a thief that did not leave empty-handed. Every step he took, a corpse would fall without exception. The prelude to the slaughter had begun, and in the end, it didn't stop. As Lin Rei killed more and more, he didn't feel tired, didn't know whether it was day or night, and didn't even dare to blink. Even Lin Rei had never experienced something like this before. However, at this moment, Lin Rei discovered that the speed at which the zombies were growing was much faster than the speed at which he was killing them. Sensing this scene, Lin Rei's heart had already sunk to the bottom of the valley. His face was so gloomy that it could drip water, and the viciousness in his eyes continued to increase. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 days later, the immortal chi was exhausted, and the illusory spirit blood fire gradually dimmed. At this moment, Lin Rei seemed to have lost his confidence. Looking at the illusory spirit blood fire that was already so weak that it could barely be seen, Lin Li had completely lost all hope. However, the ground beneath his feet was already filled with corpses, but the corpses around him were still the same as yesterday, or even worse. Haha, husband, you must come back. I'll wait for you at home with the children. Husband, I'll always wait for you. Waiting for you is the happiest thing in my life. Father, look, I'm awesome, right? I've learned everything you told me to do in the jungle. These are the rabbits and pheasants I killed today. Father, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have left Mother and fled back alone. Father, husband, father. No, I can't give up. I still have a wife and children waiting for me to come home. I can't just die here. Ah. Just as Lin Ray decided to give up and wait to be killed, the voices of his wife and children began to appear in his mind. Memories of the peaceful days he spent with his wife and children after he lost his memories kept appearing in his mind. The voices of his wife and children lingered in his ears like a magic spell, making Lin Ray regain his confidence. His strength also emerged, and he was even stronger than before. Humph, prepare to die. Although I don't have the illusory spirit blood fire or the immortal chi, my body is comparable to that of an immortal emperor. The martial emperor godly spear disappeared, and in an instant, a long sword covered in flames appeared in his hand. This long sword was the Myriad Law's sword that he had obtained from the auction in the crystal-clear water pavilion in ancient capital city. It was just right to restrain the evil things in front of him. Prepare to die. As he spoke, Lin Ray rushed into the crowd of zombies with the sword in his hand. He was as ethereal as an immortal, and he was fearless and indomitable. Relying on the strength of his body, without any cultivation base, he killed the zombies with the sword in his hand. As zombies that had jumped out of the 6 paths and were not in the 5 elements, they were at most in the celestial immortal realm. However, hundreds and thousands of zombies were not a joke. Slash. Suddenly, a blood-red wound appeared in Linley's heart. Violet blood flowed out from the wound. Hiss. Feeling the pain in his heart, Lin Ray took a deep breath and quickly raised his spirit to continue fighting. At this moment, Jean Ling, who was in the heavenly palace in the east, was talking to her disciple. Suddenly, she felt a pain in her heart, and an ominous premonition appeared. What's going on? Why does my heart hurt so much? At this moment, Jean Ling's face was pale. Her heart was in pain, and her eyes were full of uncertainty. Not only Jean Ling, but Jean En, who was buying noodles and cultivating, was also the same. His heart ached, and an ominous premonition surged in his heart. Could it be father? Thinking of something, Jean En hurriedly stood up and quickly came to the main hall of the heavenly palace. Seeing his mother's pale face, he strode forward to ask about the situation. Mother, father, he. Speaking of this, Jean Ling secretly nodded to her son, telling him not to make a fuss. And, remember, now take a few people to find your father. I feel that your father is in danger now. Although I don't know whether you can find him, you still have to try. At the same time, when you go outside, don't tell others that you are a disciple of the Xuanzong Sect. At this moment, our Xuanzong Sect is the target of the whole immortal realm, so. Well, I remember, mother, I'll go now. Jean En, who understood everything, responded and left the main hall. He found 2 cultivators at the peak of the immortal realm and left. They obeyed the young sect master of the Xuanzong Sect. Seeing her son leave, Jean Ling's pale face recovered a lot, but the panic and worry in her heart did not lessen at all. At this moment, Lin Ray, who they were worried about, was already exhausted, but he still persevered in killing the zombies. The supreme celestial artifact immortal robe on his body was soaked by the stinky blood of the zombies, which was extremely disgusting. However, there was also a good sign. At this time, the number of corpses was gradually decreasing due to his killing. Seeing this, Linley revealed a happy smile. Hey, finally, it's almost over. Looking at the few zombies left, Lin Ray mustered up his strength and rushed forward again with the Fire Stream 10,000 Laws sword. Although almost all the zombies were killed, Lin Ray's body was not much better at this moment. His body was covered with wounds. Even if he had a body like a supreme celestial artifact, so what? Under the attack of so many zombies, he was still covered in wounds. Puff, puff, puff. One by one, their heads were chopped off by Lin Rei. In addition, the Fire Stream 10,000 Laws sword had its own flame, so they died not long after their heads were chopped off. Puff, finally, after half a day, the head of the last zombie was chopped off by Lin Rei. Plop, regardless of whether the ground was disgusting or not, he directly lay on the ground, closed his eyes, and fell into a deep sleep. He didn't even care if there was any danger around him. That was simply instant sleep. Hee, it seems that this time the joke is too big, but fortunately, this difficulty has stopped. This is enough to prove that you are the chosen son of destiny. The little dragon, who had disappeared before, came out the moment Lin Rei fell into a deep sleep. With a gratified smile on his face, he muttered. But, after this kid wakes up, will he chase me to kill me? Thinking of Lin Rei's temper, he could imagine Lin Rei chasing after him after he woke up. For a moment, the little dragon was frightened by the scene he imagined, and then disappeared. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was sleeping soundly, unknowingly began to snore, and the sound was getting louder and louder. Kill, kill, kill. Even though Lin Rei was sleeping soundly, he did not forget the previous scene, and his hands kept waving in the air. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the mission of strangling the zombies. Complete. Ding dong, reward received. Upgrade by 1 level. Do you wish to receive? Do you wish to receive? At this moment, the system's voice asked, but how could Lin Rei, who was sleeping soundly, know? Yes, ding dong, congratulations to the host for successfully receiving the reward. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. Do you wish to upgrade now? Do you wish to upgrade? Yes, Lin Rei, who was sleeping soundly, had unknowingly received the reward, and even allowed it to upgrade his cultivation. Ding dong, upgrading the host's cultivation, please wait a moment. Time passed little by little, and in a short while, a terrifying aura exuded from Lin Rei's body. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for successfully upgrading. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for reaching the middle stage of the immortal monarch realm. I hope you can continue to work hard and create more glory. Chapter 399. Phew, in the devil's den, there was no daylight, and no one knew how much time had passed. After a long time, Lin Rei, who was sound asleep, woke up. What a comfortable sleep. At this time, Lin Rei, who was lying on the ground, felt indescribably comfortable and relaxed. The exhaustion brought about by the exhaustion of the immortal chi and the exhaustion of the energy in his body had completely disappeared at this moment. However, the only thing that made Lin Rei uncomfortable was the stench of the corpse under him. This stench made Lin Rei want to die. Lin Rei, who was full of helplessness, quickly stood up. Looking at the mountains of corpses and seas of blood around him, Lin Rei was shocked. He had never thought that he could kill so many corpses. Previously, he wanted to kill them quickly and leave. He didn't expect that during the process, he would kill so many corpses that he couldn't stop. Now that he thought about it, Lin Rei's heart still palpitated. I leveled up. As he sighed with emotion, a wave of energy woke him up immediately. At the same time, he was full of doubts. Before he fainted, he was still at the early stage of the immortal monarch realm. Moreover, his celestial spiritual chi had been exhausted. However, when he woke up, he found that his cultivation had broken through. Lin Rei was very confused about this, but more than that, he was pleasantly surprised. The most reasonable explanation was that the system had given him the reward. Besides this explanation, Lin Rei couldn't think of any other explanation. Looking down at his tattered clothes, Lin Rei frowned and took off his clothes hurriedly when he saw the stench of the corpse's blood. Oh! My money! A good top-grade celestial artifact was destroyed just like that. At this time, looking at his destroyed celestial artifact, Lin Rei wanted to cry but had no tears. He was as distressed as a miser. If Lin Rei's enemies saw this, they would think that they had gone to the wrong place. They wouldn't want to believe that this was their greatest enemy. Well done. Boy, it's only been a few days, and you've recovered completely? Ugh. The little dragon's voice suddenly sounded. Lin Rei didn't know what to say, but Lin Rei could feel that the anger in his body was about to explode, and he wanted to rush forward and *ck him up. With a murderous gaze, he looked at the little dragon who had caused him so much trouble. He did not say anything and just looked at him coldly, as if he was seeking an explanation from the little dragon. This. Of course, he was well aware of Lin Rei's hatred and murderous intent. Thinking back to the moment when Lin Rei was on the verge of death, the little dragon had nothing to say. Neither of them spoke, but the little dragon could feel that the anger in Lin Rei's heart was gradually increasing. Moreover, it was becoming more and more intense, like a flame that was born with the momentum. He couldn't wait to burn him to ashes. It would be best if there wasn't even a trace of him left. Humph, little dragon, you're really something. Finally, Lin Rei couldn't take it anymore and directly roared. His voice was so cold that the little dragon felt as if his body was frozen. Lin Rei, don't you think that this is a test for you? Look, after this, you have to work harder and pay more attention to the strength of your body. This time, you can take it as a warning of danger. Damn you. At this moment, Lin Rei found it hard to believe that the little dragon could be so shameless. Lin Rei wanted to applaud him for being so shameless. Moreover, the little dragon's sophistry made Lin Rei unable to refute, as if all this was for him. You still have the cheek to act shamelessly in front of me. Tell me, why did you trick me before? When I asked you if there was any danger, what did you say? When you said that, you were very certain and sincerely said that there was no danger. Didn't you say that you were trying to kill me? Although I didn't die and leveled up in the end, it doesn't mean that you didn't know that I was tricking me. Lin Rei was the most talkative. He was like a machine gun that couldn't be stopped, blabbering non-stop. At this moment, the little dragon was speechless after listening to Lin Rei's words. He didn't know what to say. Besides, there was nothing much to say. Regarding Lin Rei's complaints, the little dragon didn't say much or express much because this matter was indeed his fault. So, okay, I owe you this time. If there's anything you want me to do in the future, feel free to tell me. I won't hesitate to help you get it done. As soon as these words left his mouth, Lin Li immediately perked up. The resentful look on his face disappeared, and all that was left was happiness and excitement. For the little dragon, this was a huge favor. Others wouldn't be able to return it even if they wanted to. You said that no matter what it is, you'll do it for me? Yes, that's right. The uncertain Lin Rei asked for confirmation and finally gave the little dragon a definite answer. At this moment, the complaints in Lin Rei's heart about being tricked had disappeared. Even if there were, they would disappear with the passage of time. So, this time, not only did Lin Rei not suffer a loss, but he also profited from it. He was grinning from ear to ear. Are you sure you want to keep talking to me like this? The little dragon's voice sounded and Lin Rei couldn't help but look at his own body. In the blink of an eye, it was a day of naked, white, and clean bodies with wounds occasionally appearing in front of his eyes. *ck, why didn't you say so earlier? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei realized that when he was talking to it previously, he was completely naked. He had taken off his clothes and didn't have time to change them. This time, Lin Rei's face was completely lost. With a slightly red face, Lin Rei felt very embarrassed. He quickly took out a set of top-grade immortal equipment from the system and put it on himself. The drifting cloud set that he had just changed into was completely scrapped. Regarding this, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel heartache. After all, it was a top-grade immortal equipment. Anyone would feel heartache for a while. Even in the outside world's top sects, it was impossible to casually take out a set of top-grade immortal equipment. Scrooge, I really don't know why you are such a person. You value money as much as your life. At this time, Lin Rei's scene was completely seen by the little dragon, and it was immediately disdainful. However, as soon as these words were said, Lin Rei was unwilling and immediately defended himself. You still have the nerve to say that. I am the leader of a sect, and I have tens of thousands of disciples to support. You make it sound so easy. To me, it's a very large amount of resources. It's all money. Tell me, how can I not feel heartache? At this point, Lin Rei's face was full of grievance and pity. It was as if he was the only pitiful person in the world, and everyone else was very rich. Okay. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon was completely speechless. Then, it disappeared from Lin Rei's sight. You're still too inexperienced to fight with me. Looking at the place where the little dragon disappeared, Lin Rei couldn't help but snort in his heart. Everything was over. Looking at the fire stream of 10,000 Law's sword that was still burning underground, Lin Rei was very grateful. If it weren't for it, he would have been here. Bending down, he grabbed the fire stream of 10,000 Law's sword. After wiping it on his hand, he put it into the storage ring. It's over. Since there are so many corpses guarding here, maybe there are even more powerful things inside. However, since there were powerful guards, there must be very precious treasures of heaven and earth. Otherwise, with so many corpses, it was enough to compete with a first-rate sect in the outside world. As the saying goes, fortune is disaster. Danger and opportunity coexist. Similarly, they were proportional. Without saying a word, Lin Rei didn't even look at the surface of this place. Then, he walked deeper into the place. Although he didn't know how many days had passed since he fainted, Lin Rei was relieved when he thought about how Wang Kuei and Wang Wen couldn't act rashly without his orders. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that when he was in danger, his wife and son also felt it and came out to look for him. But then again, as the saying went, connected by blood, connected by heart, was absolutely true. At this moment, at the intersection between the eastern and central regions, Jin En was leading a group of people in the direction of Linley's current location. His face was full of anxiety and at the same time, he was very tired. However, when he thought of the palpitations from before, he didn't dare to stop running. He wanted to make sure that his father was safe. Only then would he dare to go back and tell his mother and not let her worry. Young master, we're sure that this is the right way to go. The sect leader didn't say where he was going, let alone which direction to go. If you go like this, will you? At this time, one of the two people following Lin Rei asked anxiously. He had been running for many days and was very anxious. However, in the end, he couldn't say anything else. I can feel that my father is in this direction. Don't worry, if we go in this direction, we'll definitely find my father. I'm sure of this. At this moment, Jin En was very sure of his words. At the same time, his face was full of confidence, as if he was right. In fact, Jin En was just putting on a strong front. He looked strong, but he was actually very guilty. He didn't know if he was right, but he would still follow the path he had pointed out. Yes, we understand. Since Jin En was sure, they had nothing else to say. After all, the person who spoke was the young sect leader of the Xuanzong sect, their master. Alright, everyone, let's hurry up. Looking at their expressions, Lin Rei didn't have a chance. He immediately increased his strength and broke through his limit again, rushing towards the central continent. Chapter 400. At this point, Lin Rei was already deep into the demon's den. Other than the wave of corpses he had met earlier, there was nothing else. His journey was smooth sailing and he did not meet with any other dangers. Everything else was the same as before. There was not a single blade of grass, nor was there a single living thing. Other than the dark and eerie aura around him, the only other thing he could sense was the dense demonic aura. F***ck. Damn it. Can't there be some spiritual herbs or elixirs? This place is so bare that I don't even want to look at it anymore. At this point, Lin Ray was extremely dissatisfied with the current state of the demon's den. It was a little boring. In fact, Lin Ray was starting to miss the times he had fought with the corpses. However, what Lin Ray did not know was that the person sent out by Qin Kuan's sect had already arrived at Sword Sect. In the main hall of Sword Sect, the black-robed man from Qin Kuan's sect was standing below. The Sword Sect leader, Jian Wudi, who had just returned from Xuanzong sect, was sitting on the sect leader's seat. His eyes were filled with disdain and contempt. Looking at the black-robed man, he said coldly, "Humph. Someone from Qin Kuan's sect. Tisk, it's been 1,000 years. We haven't contacted each other for 1,000 years. Why are you here all of a sudden?" Replying to sect leader Jian, "I'm here on the orders of my sect leader to pass on the message of Qin Kuan's sect." He had heard of Jian Wudi in Qin Kuan's sect. Jian Wudi was born to be a pain in the ass. Unless he was willing, even if you killed him, he wouldn't care about you at all. Hearing the black-robed man's words, Jian Wudi fell into deep thought. However, the longer he thought about it, the tighter his frown became. His expression became even more unsightly. My sect leader has said that the 5 major sects are the limit of the immortal world. If another sect were to appear out of nowhere, not only would it break the peace of the immortal world, it would also affect the harmony of the various sects. At this point, even an idiot would be able to understand what the black-robed man was trying to say. To put it bluntly, they wanted to join forces and deal with the additional sects. However, he was no fool when it came to this. If every matter involved the profound sect strength, he might have easily agreed to it. However, at this moment? Furthermore, he still had to be reliable and thorough. Otherwise, if he made a single mistake, it would mean that he would lose everything and be on the verge of collapse. As the sect master of a sect, it was impossible for him to not think about the future of his sect. How should I address you?" Jian Wudi was just about to say something when he realized that he didn't even know the other party's name. By D, Qin Kuan's sect's shadow guard. Jian Wudi sucked in a breath of cold air. His body trembled slightly, his face filled with shock. The shadow guard was the most mysterious force in the Qin Kuan sect. No one had ever seen them and they never appeared in front of outsiders. Therefore, all the sects wanted to know about the shadow guard. However, Jian Wudi didn't expect to see one today. Jian Wudi was certain that the Qin Kuan sect was determined to destroy the Xuanzong sect. Otherwise, the mysterious shadow guard wouldn't have made a move. By D, right? Tell me, what does the person from the Qin Kuan sect want? What are his conditions? Tell me, otherwise, this. TSK. You know what I mean. As the saying goes, there's no free lunch in the world. If one wanted to ask for help from his own sect, one had to do something. Only an idiot would help. Sure enough, as soon as these words were spoken, a trace of a smile appeared on the face of the shadow guard called by D. Sect leader Jian is indeed straightforward. I won't hide it then. Then, Bai Di explained the Qin Kuan sect leader's intentions. My sect leader wants me to be the contact person to contact a few empires and families, as well as a few other sections. Once everything is done and we have an agreement, we will attack the Xian sect in one fell swoop. By then, someone will open up a path for us and we will be able to attack the Xian sect. Jian Wudi, who was sitting at the head of the table, was very excited when he heard Bai Di's words. However, when he heard that someone had opened the light path, Jian Wudi's expression changed. It was obvious that there were spies in the Xuanzong sect. If they really attacked, someone would open the path for them. Jian Wudi was shocked. He didn't expect the Qin Kuan sect to be so cunning. Jian Wudi couldn't help but feel a chill down his spine. However, the more he thought about it, the more Jian Wudi felt that this matter was very reliable. The 5 sects had already divided the powers of the immortal realm into 5 directions: east, west, north, south, and center. However, the sudden appearance of a new sect could very well disrupt the balance of power in the immortal realm. Furthermore, based on what he had seen in the Xuanzong sect, any cultivator would be tempted by the Xuanzong sect's treasures, let alone Jian Wudi. He wasn't a saint and didn't treat money like dirt. He was also jealous of the many treasures that he had never seen before. Alright, I'll accept the Qingkuan sect's invitation. When the time comes, let me know and I'll go and help the Qingkuan sect. After thinking about it for a long time, Jian Wudi finally agreed. However, when he thought about his son, he couldn't help but feel guilty. Sigh. Son, I've let you down. Although you're the head of the law enforcement department in the Xuanzong sect, you still have to come back to inherit the sword sect. Jian Wudi could only sigh at this point. There was nothing else he could do. Alright, thank you for your agreement. I'll go back and report to my sect leader. Go ahead. Whoosh. In an instant, the black-robed man disappeared. Other than Jian Wudi, who was sitting on the chair, there was no one else in the hall. Sigh, did I do the right thing or not? A shocking conspiracy was slowly taking shape in the heavy atmosphere of the immortal world. Lin Rei, who was in the Devil's Den, didn't know that his sect was about to face an unprecedented problem. He also didn't know that a traitor had been removed from his sect. Cough. A cough sounded in the pitch-black Devil's Den. The sound was filled with fatigue. Sigh. When is this going to end? A voice full of helplessness sounded. At this moment, Lin Rei had walked a long way, but he still didn't see anything that could interest him. Yeah, little dragon, hurry up and come out. At this time, a little impatient Lin Rei roared at the little dragon in the system. What? Again, an impatient tone sounded. Suddenly, Lin Rei, who was about to ignite a bomb, was completely ignited. Tell me, what's in here? Hearing Lin Rei's roar, the little dragon looked around. Except for the stone walls, it was pitch black. He was puzzled. Logically speaking, there was a large group of corpses guarding the place. Although there wasn't anything good in here, it shouldn't be that there was nothing. No, is it because you don't have enough? The little dragon's words made Lin Rei very helpless. What do you mean you don't have enough? This guy is just standing there and talking. You still have the nerve to say that I don't have enough. At this moment, the little dragon was also very helpless. He didn't know what was going on. Normally, the Devil's Den was a place that the big sects would fight for. However, this place didn't seem to be as rich in resources as he thought. On the contrary, it was a little pitifully scarce. Look, there's nothing here. Tell me, what can be in this place where birds don't even shit? What could it possibly have except for some evil things that can't be seen in the light? Is there nothing else? At this point, Lin Rei was ready to turn around and walk outside. However, he was stopped by the little dragon. With your character, let alone the peak of the Tao realm, even breaking through to the immortal emperor and immortal venerables is a great challenge. Maybe you won't be able to break through in this lifetime. From Xiaolong's tone, one could tell that he was really angry. Furthermore, he was very angry. This was the first time he had seen Xiaolong so angry since he had met him. As for Linli, the moment Xiaolong said those words, he stopped in his tracks. His eyes were filled with complicated emotions, anger, and unwillingness. It was extremely complicated. Therefore, I advise you not to rush back now. Keep moving forward. Maybe you'll find something different. This sentence caused a trace of change to appear in the many complicated expressions in his eyes. Listening to the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was reminded of the days when he was on the brink of death and rolling on the edge of life and death. Compared to today's matter, it was nothing. In an instant, Lin Rei once again pulled himself together. His previous intention of retreating disappeared at this moment. Good. Since this is the path I've chosen, no matter how difficult the obstacles ahead are, I'll continue to move forward until there's no way out. At this point, Lin Rei took a step forward and continued to move forward. At this moment, listening to Lin Rei's words, a gratified smile appeared on his face. However, the little dragon was right. The path ahead was really different. Not long after, suddenly, a gust of sword chi rushed out from the depths without warning. Whoosh! Slash! Poof! In an instant, Lin Rei did not notice it even with his reaction and speed. The sword chi cut a wound on his arm, and purple blood slowly flowed down. Instantly, Linli was startled. He hurriedly retreated backwards, retreating out of the area where he hadn't been attacked. Phew! At this moment, Lin Rei was still trembling with fear. According to the sword chi from before, if it wasn't his arm, if it was his neck, then he didn't know if he would still be alive at this moment. Moreover, Lin Rei also had some understanding of sword chi. However, the sword chi from before was very pure and powerful, but it wasn't stimulated by cultivation. Lin Rei felt that this was very strange, and at the same time, very curious. It was as if what was emitting the sword chi was something unexpected, or perhaps it was something like the fierce corpse from before. Chapter 401. Lin Rei was puzzled. In order to verify his guess, he went to the place where he was injured by the sword chi. He wanted to see how powerful the sword chi was. Then, he grasped the fire stream universal sword in his hand. Similarly, a majestic and vigorous sword chi burst out from Lin Rei's body, accompanied by endless killing intent. That sort of killing intent was indescribable with a single glance. Within it, there was a gloomy and cold aura that caused one to feel a chill in their teeth. However, Lin Rei did not feel it. He only felt that after the battle with the fierce corpse, his killing intent had increased to an unimaginable level. Ta! With a serious face, Lin Rei took a step forward. He released his divine sense and rushed into the depths of the devil's cave. Whoosh! Clang! The sound of weapons colliding was heard. In an instant, Lin Rei quickly retreated from the attack of the sword chi. Phew! He sighed in his heart, and his heart was filled with shock. The cold sweat on his face continued to drip down, soaking Linli's clothes. What kind of sword chi is this? It can be sent out silently without being detected by my divine sense. Even an expert at the immortal emperor realm can't hide from my divine sense. But now... At this moment, Linli was completely puzzled. Linli had been fully prepared, but as soon as he entered the attack range of the sword chi, a formless, colorless, shadowless, and soundless sword chi suddenly appeared. If Linli hadn't instinctively blocked it, he probably would have been decapitated. Thinking back to what had just happened, Linli's body began to tremble uncontrollably, and he began to cry out in terror. This was the first time since he stepped into the cultivation world that he was caught off guard. It was also the only time that he did not know where to start. So what if it's powerful? Watch me break it. The more difficult something was, the more interested Linli was. At the same time, he was curious. Thus, after experiencing what had happened, Linli wasn't discouraged. Instead, he was even more motivated. He instantly unleashed all his supreme-grade immortal weapons. Coupled with his cultivation base and his physique that was akin to a supreme-grade immortal weapon, he took another step forward with the Fire Stream Myriad Law's sword in hand. At this moment, Lin Rei's 5 senses were fully unleashed. Whoosh! Bang! This method was still feasible. After opening up many aspects, he could vaguely see the trajectory of the sword chi that rushed out from the depths of the demon's denver. However, the sword chi was extremely powerful and fast. Unless he managed to break it in the nick of time, he would be the one to be injured. Lin Rei had a happy smile on his face when he unleashed the first sword chi. However, his smile quickly disappeared and a serious expression appeared on his face. Suddenly, 2 beams of sword chi shot out from the depths of the devil's denver. If it weren't for the help of his 5 senses, Lin Rei would have been cut open by the sword chi. Bang! Dang! It could only be said that Lin Rei had dodged the attack by a hair's breadth. However, it was impossible to say that he wasn't injured. Although most of the sword chi was blocked by the fire stream Myriad Law's sword, there was still a small part of the sword chi that brushed past his face and hair. There was a very shallow wound on his face. Purple blood flowed out from the wound and a tuft of his hair was cut off. Helplessly, Linley could only come to a halt. He didn't want the next time he would be so tactful as to lose consciousness. Little dragon, come out. Although he didn't have a good relationship with the little dragon before, only the little dragon could help him in such a situation. However, when he spoke, it was inevitable that his tone would be a little weak and embarrassed. What's wrong? The words came from behind him without any warning. Lin Rei was delighted and quickly turned around with a smile. Little dragon, it was my fault before. I shouldn't have made you angry. Now, I deeply understand my own mistakes. Hearing Lin Rei's words and seeing Lin Rei's pitiful look, the little dragon rolled its eyes. However, when it heard the last sentence, the little dragon couldn't help but interrupt. All right. Don't say any more. I don't like it when you're like this. Xiaolong's words caused Linley to feel even more embarrassed. However, the problem still had to be solved. Take a look. What exactly is this thing that has been around for the past few years? Why does it have such powerful sword energy? I knew it. You didn't look for me for anything else. As though it had expected this, the moment it heard Lin Rei's words, the little dragon turned around and looked into the depths of the cave. The more it looked, the deeper its frown became. In the end, its expression turned ugly as though it had seen something bad. Lin Rei stood aside and didn't disturb it. However, seeing the little dragon's expression turning uglier, Lin Rei thought that the little dragon didn't have a solution. So that's the case. Linley, who had lost all hope, suddenly heard Xiaolong's laughter. His eyes, which had been filled with despair, now had a glimmer of hope. How is it? Do you have a solution? Looking at Lin Rei's anxious tone, the little dragon didn't say it immediately. Instead, it mischievously teased Lin Rei. There is a solution. But, you have to beg me. Ugh. The little dragon's words left Lin Rei speechless. He didn't expect the little dragon to be able to joke at such a tense moment. I'll beg you if you want me to. At this moment, Lin Rei spoke in a manly and domineering manner. But then. Little dragon, I'm begging you. Tell me the solution. Originally, the little dragon admired Lin Rei's bold words. But it didn't expect that its tone would suddenly change. Hearing Lin Rei's unconfident and wretched expression, the little dragon was completely speechless. It touched its forehead helplessly. Sigh, this guy is finished. It's easy to break the sword chi, but it's also easy to say that it's difficult. However, it's very simple for you, and it's also very beneficial. Who knows? Maybe your body will become stronger because of it. Lin Rei was confused by the little dragon's words. He didn't know what the little dragon was talking about. But since the little dragon said so, it meant that it had a way to break the sword aura. Cut the crap, hurry up. The impatient Lin Rei directly said what was on his mind. Suddenly, the little dragon revealed a smile after hearing Lin Rei's words. That's more like what you're saying, brat. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei shuddered and thought, this guy can't be a masochist, right? However, this thought flashed through his mind. At this moment, what Lin Rei wanted to hear the most was the method to break the sword aura. You already have the method to break the sword aura, and it's the most powerful one in the world. Although the tyrant body technique was an emperor-level technique, its function was very powerful. It could enhance the strength of its own body with external force. Moreover, its recovery ability was extremely strong. So, At this point, Lin Rei could certainly understand. That was to say, as long as he learned the tyrant body technique and then continued to use the sword aura to enhance his own cultivation speed, he could solve the problem of the sword aura and break through the limits of his body and improve his physical strength. Yes, I already got the tyrant body technique, but I didn't have time to practice it. If what you said is true, maybe this time I can break through to an unimaginable level. Ding dong, discovered the tyrant body technique, emperor-level physical body technique. Would you like to practice it? The situation suddenly appeared. Lin Rei didn't expect that the upgraded system would be so much more useful than before. Yes, I'll learn it. Ding dong, the host's current physical body is a best-grade celestial weapon, but it doesn't live up to its name. After the host has learned the tyrant body technique, he must practice it from the beginning. Otherwise, it can only slow down the host's progress in the future. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei broke out in a cold sweat. He didn't expect the system to be so thorough. However, when he thought about it carefully, what the system said was right. Okay, I got it. Ding dong, the tyrant body technique is divided into 7 levels. Each level corresponds to a celestial weapon, a spiritual weapon, a precious weapon, an early-stage celestial weapon, and so on. After reaching the best-grade celestial weapon, the host has learned the entire tyrant body technique. At that time, the host's physical strength will reach a terrifying number. Even if you meet a celestial emperor, you won't need to use your cultivation. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei was shocked. Thinking about it, how cool it would be to be able to directly crush a celestial emperor with one's physical strength. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. You have learned all 7 levels of the tyrant body technique. As long as the host consolidates from the first level, it will be fine. The system's words made Lin Rei feel a little incredulous. He didn't expect to learn the entire tyrant body technique in one go. Thinking about it, he immediately looked at the cultivation method of the first level of the tyrant body technique. The tyrant body technique was to use external forces to refine the body and open up all the major acupoints in the body. Every word and sentence was engraved in his mind. He didn't dare to forget a single word. Okay, Lin Rei, stop dawdling. You've been down here for so long. Remember, your time is very precious. Looking at Lin Rei's silly smile, the little dragon couldn't help but come up the mountain to interrupt Lin Rei's fantasy. Got it. Then, Lin Rei didn't wait for the little dragon to take a step forward. Boom. Slash. This time, Lin Rei didn't use the Fire Stream Universal Sword to block it. Instead, he let the sword chi slash through his body. An opening appeared, but Lin Li didn't pay it any attention. Instead, he continued to walk forward. 1 step. 2 steps. Running. Just like that, after a dozen steps, there was no way to take another step forward. Chapter 402. At this moment, Lin Rei's body was cut by the sword aura, but at the same time, each wound was healing at a slow speed. Moreover, every time he took a step, the sword aura would rush towards him. Moreover, the sword aura seemed to be tireless and endless. It kept washing Lin Rei's body. After the sword aura rushed over again, the wounds would be cut again and again. In this way, Lin Rei did not know how long he persisted. Finally, until the end, Lin Rei's own healing speed unknowingly healed at the moment when the sword aura had just cut him. Lin Rei was very happy with this scene, but Lin Rei was not satisfied. After all, he could feel that this did not even reach the first level of tyrant body technique. Continue. The sword aura here was basically no longer a threat to Lin Rei. Immediately, Lin Rei went deeper again. However, it was different this time. It was completely different from before. The sword aura this time was twice as powerful as before, and the speed was faster than before. Even when Lin Rei opened his 5 senses, there was no way to detect the trajectory of the sword aura or the fluctuation. Puff puff puff. Wounds were formed one after another under the operation of the tyrant body technique. The cycle repeated over and over again. Linley basically didn't feel pain anymore. He only knew that whenever the sword chi came, a wound would appear on his body, but it would heal immediately. This phenomenon was the best for Lin Ray. Otherwise, if it hurt every time it was cut, it could be imagined how painful it would be. Lin Ray, who did not know how many days had passed, only knew that he had entered the range of the sword aura and had walked hundreds of steps. However, what made Lin Ray sad was that after walking hundreds of steps, he only practiced the first level of tyrant body technique. Thinking of this, Lin Ray was helpless. However, for the things inside, and also for the strength of his own body, Lin Ray had to work harder. Once the first layer was completed, he began to advance quickly. Although it was painful, the effect was still very effective. In the outside world, Bai Di of the Qiankuan sect had already visited the Sword Sect, the Bai clan, the Huangpu clan, the Tianjing Empire, the Kueishui Empire and the Howling Sky Empire. Moreover, all the clans, empires and sects that Bai Di had interviewed had reached a consensus with the Qiankuan sect. At this moment, in the imperial palace of Howling Sky's empire, the monarch of Howling Sky's empire, Emperor Shao, was talking to Bai Di with a smile. Hee, all right. The emperor has agreed to this matter. Go back and inform your faction leader. When the time comes, you just need to inform him and the emperor will be at your beck and call. Ha ha ha, good. The smile on Bai Di's face widened. The wrinkles on his face suddenly appeared, making him look like a wretched uncle. Thank you, Martial Monarch Roaring Sky. I'll inform you when the time comes, but it'll take some time. Maybe 10 years, 50 years, or even 100 years. Hee, it's fine. For people like us, the last thing we lack is time. 100 years will pass in the blink of an eye. The moment these words were spoken, it was clear just how much they hated the Xian sect. Alright, Martial Monarch Roaring Sky, I'll take my leave then. Seeing that Bai Di was about to leave, Emperor Shao nodded his head in agreement. Hee, as expected, the shadow guard of the Qiankuan sect is not to be underestimated. I didn't expect him to leave without me noticing. At this moment, Bai Di's shadow was nowhere to be seen. Even Emperor Shao, who had just finished talking to him, didn't know. Emperor Shao was shocked by this. Looks like the Xuanzong sect is doomed. I wonder what will happen to the people of the Xuanzong sect when the time comes. If I can make use of them, then. Speaking of this, Emperor Shao recalled the scene of the Xuanzong sect's disciples being taken over by him after he conquered the Xuanzong sect. Time passed quietly. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Until the 4th month, Lin Ray, who was in the Devil's Den, was emitting a yellow halo. It was incomparably sacred, just like the halo behind the West Mountain Tathagata Buddha on TV. His entire body was sacred and peaceful. There was not a trace of cultivation on his body, nor was there a trace of immortal chi. It was as if, other than being a little mysterious, this person was no different from an ordinary person. However, if one was able to see through a person's body, then that person would definitely be able to see that every single muscle and every single cell in Linley's body was constantly growing in strength. Phew. Gradually, Lin Ray let out a long sigh and opened his eyes. A beam of light shot out from his eyes, which was an awe-inspiring sight. Sigh. It took me such a long time to reach the 6th level of the tyrant body art. It's a bit slow. At this moment, Lin Ray's face was full of dissatisfaction. Little did he know that if someone heard Lin Ray's words, they would have the impulse to kill him. He knew that cultivating immortal chi and cultivating the body were two different concepts. Cultivating the body was much more difficult than cultivating immortal chi. And yet, even after spending such a small amount of energy, Linley still wasn't satisfied. Boy, be content. You're just starting from scratch. So, don't bite off more than you can chew. Step by step is the way of the king. The little dragon in the system was very clear about Lin Rei's every move. When it saw Lin Rei's depressed look, it knew what he was thinking. However, it's not bad to be able to reach this level in 4 months. As soon as the system said this, Lin Rei was shocked. He didn't expect that he would cultivate for 4 months. Okay, it's already thousands of meters. Let's hurry up. I think I'll reach the end soon. Chapter 403. Although Lin Rei was very excited to hear the little dragon's words, he knew that it wasn't easy to obtain these things. At the very least, he had to pay a price. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't care about the various temptations of the little dragon. He only wanted to know how to obtain these things and what the price was. No matter what you say, what is the price? Hurry up and say it. I don't want to beat around the bush with you. Sure enough, as soon as Lin Rei said those words, the little dragon immediately laughed. Kid, not bad. You've learned to be smart. That's right. If you want to obtain it, you do need to pay a price. But, I didn't create it. It's the root cause of this sword herb. Root cause? The little dragon's words left Lin Rei a little confused. He didn't understand the meaning behind it. I'll be frank with you. It's easy to obtain the sword herb, but there's another characteristic of the sword herb that you might not know. What is it? At this moment, Lin Rei couldn't wait any longer. So what if there was a price? Now that things had come to this, what else could he do? Although the sword herb is a treasure of heaven and earth, but at the same time, after someone pulls it out from the place where it grows, it must be concocted into a pill or used for refining equipment within a month. Otherwise. For a moment, the little dragon's words left Lin Rei completely speechless. This is called a good thing? Isn't this cheating? However, when the little dragon said the last part, it didn't continue. However, the two of them who were connected by hearts still knew what the little dragon was going to say next. Sure enough, the little dragon's next words were exactly what Lin Rei thought. As long as it isn't used in time, it will disappear from this world. Listening to Xiaolong's explanation of the sword grass, Lin Li frowned. Although he really wanted to obtain the sword grass, he didn't know how to preserve it. In terms of refining pills, he was only at the level of heaven grade. Even in terms of refining equipment, he was only at the level of immortal equipment. It would be difficult to advance any further. Therefore, at this moment, Lin Li was in a dilemma. He didn't know what to do with the treasures in front of him. No matter what they were, to the current Lin Li, it would be a waste. Lin Li didn't want to part with them, and in this moment, Lin Li's miserly nature completely erupted. Little dragon, tell me, what method do you have, or if there's anything that can prevent it from being wasted? As long as you say it, I'll agree to any conditions, okay? At this moment, Lin Rei was ready to risk everything. For the sword herb in front of him, even if the little dragon's problem was difficult, as long as he could complete it, it wouldn't be a problem. Of course, unless he had to provide heavenly treasures or other valuable things. Hee. Looking at Lin Rei's nervous expression and the little dragon's knowing smile, Lin Rei couldn't help but shudder. Okay. Since you said so, I can't not help. Sure enough, Lin Rei knew that the little dragon would have a better way, but he knew that the next moment would be a painful moment for him. He walked to the side, found a place where he could support his body, and asked. Say it. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon said with a faint smile, It's not that I can't help you, but what's the price? It's that you shorten your time on planet Aqua Blue by 30 years. This condition isn't too much for you. Of course, it won't hurt you at all, so you should agree. That's right. When he heard the little dragon say that this was the price he had to pay, Lin Rei was stunned. He even began to wonder if the little dragon had changed. It still felt a little unreal. Ah! A scream came out of Lin Rei's mouth, and his eyes regained their clarity. It's true, it's true. As it turned out, just as Linley was beginning to think that it was unreal, he had used his hand to viciously pinch his own thigh. In the end, it had ended in pain. At the same time, Linley had also realized that this matter was real. However, when the little dragon saw Lin Ray's reaction, he was completely helpless and rolled his eyes. Regarding Lin Ray's actions, he couldn't wait to pick up a hammer and smash Lin Ray's head to knock him out. Do you agree or not? If you don't, then forget it. Anyway, it doesn't matter to me. The little dragon's words suddenly made Lin Ray anxious. He said eagerly, okay, I agree. I'll use 30 years of the mission in exchange for the method to preserve the sword herb or use it immediately. Okay. After the successful transaction with Lin Ray, the little dragon was in a very good mood. It's actually very simple. You just need to refine it into medicinal pills. Of course, you can also refine a portion of it into immortal artifacts. As soon as the little dragon's words left his mouth, Lin Ray seemed to have been struck by lightning. In an instant, his body froze on the spot. At the same time, anger welled up in him. He wanted to go forward and tear the little dragon apart. Originally, Lin Ray thought that the little dragon would have a better way, at least a few levels higher than his own method of refining medicinal pills. But he didn't expect that it would be equivalent to not saying anything. This was like being splashed with a bucket of cold water when you were having S**x with your wife. In an instant, all the desires disappeared. Even the future was a problem. At this moment, Lin Ray was in such a mood. Are you kidding me? I haven't finished yet. I asked you to refine medicinal pills and immortal artifacts, but I didn't say that you can refine them according to the immortal artifacts and medicinal pills you know. I'll give you the pill formula and the method of refining immortal artifacts. So, won't you refine them soon? Originally, Lin Ray thought that there would be a war of words. He didn't expect the little dragon to say such a method. In an instant, he recovered, stood up straight, and listened seriously. He wanted to see what was so good about the medicinal pills that the little dragon gave him. If it wasn't good, then it would still be useless. Pill formula, sword breakthrough pill, is a kind of king-level medicinal pill. It is refined with sword grass, spirit essence, black water, and several other precious things. But don't worry, I've seen these things just now. You have them all. Of course, he did. Listening to the little dragon talking about the pill formula of sword breakthrough pill, Lin Ray was even a little surprised. Wasn't this the pill formula that he extorted from some disciples before? It was just that he didn't expect that it would be so coincidental that he could use it at this time. Okay, then tell me the method to refine celestial artifacts. I've just broken through to become a weapon refiner. It's impossible for me to break through again. How could the little dragon not know about Lin Ray's words? However, what the little dragon said next made Lin Ray completely convinced. I didn't ask you to raise your weapon refining level. The method I gave you is the method to refine celestial artifacts. Oh. Listening to the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was surprised. It was using sword grass to refine celestial artifacts. This was such a luxurious thing. If the old guys in the holy world and divine world knew about this, Lin Ray's heart would probably explode. The celestial artifact that I want you to refine is called Heavenly Battle. It's a kind of sword in a flute. It's a kind of flute on the outside, but the inside is a sword that radiates cold light. As soon as the words came out, Lin Ray's interest was piqued. He had seen this kind of thing on the planet where he lived. Moreover, it was on TV. He did not expect that the little dragon wanted him to refine this kind of thing today. Don't underestimate the sword in a flute. Although it's a middle-grade celestial artifact, it's in the same category as the Martial Emperor Divine Spear. It can be upgraded. As long as you kill more people, or according to some kind of breakthrough, it can be upgraded. Is there anything else? Lin Ray heard the little dragon's introduction clearly. However, when he heard that it could be upgraded by killing people, Lin Ray hesitated. Although Lin Ray was not a good person, he was not a homicidal maniac either. Therefore, when he heard the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was stunned and pondered. After pondering for a long time, Lin Ray finally decided to refine it. Firstly, it was because there was a good thing in front of him. He could not just watch it disappear between heaven and earth. Secondly, it meant that he could see whose hands the sword would be in. Therefore, Lin Ray made his decision. I'll refine it. Hee, good. Listening to Lin Ray's answer, the little dragon was obviously very satisfied. Because at this moment, the little dragon was very happy. However, refining the sword in a flute requires materials. The most important material is the mysterious crystal used to grow the sword grass. Only the mysterious crystal can refine the sword in a flute. As for the flute, it requires a rare heavenly water jade. Lin Ray was stunned. He had already made up his mind. He did not expect that refining the sword in a flute would require such a good material. Especially the heavenly water jade. He had never heard of it, let alone find and refine a fairy weapon. As for the mysterious crystal, he knew about it and also knew where it was. Looking at Lin Ray's stunned expression, the little dragon knew what Lin Ray was thinking. Then, it told him what he wanted to know the most. Don't worry, I'll give you the heavenly water jade for free. As for the mysterious crystal, you have to dig it up yourself. His nostrils flared. Lin Li really wondered if Xiaolong had changed his personality today for him to act like this. However, it would be a waste to not take such a good thing. As the saying goes, a bastard who does not take advantage of a bargain. Okay, take it out. Damn. Before Lin Ray finished speaking, a piece of red, purple and green jade fell into Lin Ray's eyes. Apart from that, nothing else could enter Lin Ray's eyes. This piece of jade was simply too beautiful, so beautiful that Lin Li couldn't help but wonder if it was fake. Hee, how is it? Isn't the heavenly water jade beautiful? Let me tell you, this piece of jade is something that the best rulers in the holy world would fight for. This is a good news for you. When it said this, the little dragon pretended to be heartbroken. However, Lin Ray did not comment on the little dragon's acting because it was really bad. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.